What is up, guys? It's Adam, aka Marv, and this is Marfoogle News, the only live call-in show on YouTube. Alright, not really, but I did call a number of things, and I'm going to go over that tonight. In fact, if you watch this show, you will be blown away by my prediction that I made, and I normally do not say things like this. You're gonna have to stick in for this one. We're gonna talk about the homeless folks and where they might be going. High density housing in a city with no locks. Wink, wink. We're also gonna talk about China making warships en masse. We'll be right back right after this. China making warships, I call dear. China making tons, quantity over quality. Marfoogle News, the only place to be. All right. What is up, guys? It's Adam, aka Marv, and this is Marfoogle News. Tonight we are going to be talking about a ton of things, and for once in a while, I'm actually really kind of blown away by what we have said on this show and what is coming true right now. And this is a short period of time for so many things to come into play. If you guys watch this show, you would know that we have made several predictions based on the news we cover. As you guys know, we cover many stories a day, and I'm talking many. Tonight we have 15. Obviously, we can't hit all of them, and we're going to try to hit as many as possible. We're talking about 2030. If you know what 2030 means, if you're in this kind of group of people, you probably already know. But there is what they would call an agenda, and it is starting. We would have to say it has begun, but that's really a big story on top of many other things. We are going to be putting out information via our Marfoogle alerts, which is, absolutely huge. Our world is changing. You've got Virginia in an entire mess, talking about taking away bangs from people. And then, of course, you have all of the conflicts going on with different countries around the world. Now, I'm going to go into that here in a second. I just first want to explain, if you've never been here before, this is a call-in show, and you can actually follow along. There are many articles here that we're going to hit, not all of them in full. We're going to try to get through as much as we can, but again, we try to go through and then have you guys call in and give your opinions. I actually have a live connection here with Dex. He has a whole screen devoted over here. We've got a 5-screen setup. One of them is just for the callers. So you guys can actually call in with videos, articles, any kind of thing that you want us to share on the show. And that way it is viewer-powered content. Now, just to show you, on marfooglenews.com, you can actually take a second device right now. It's 9:43 p.m. on Friday night, on the 20th of 2019, and you can go to marfooglenews.com, click on this thumbnail, and then once you do that, you will actually be pulled to a screen that has the video, which you can watch live from the website, or you can watch it a year later. And down below, you can actually see we have attached every article that we're going to read here tonight. So if we just hit, say, a paragraph, you can actually go in and read the rest. You can follow along, or you can go back later and check what we're saying. So all of these things are backed up with some sort of proof, evidence, or something in writing. Now, down below, the caller info, I'll explain one time now and one time at the end. This will actually be filled with the live caller info by the end of the show. So you're actually going to be able to go and see their YouTube channel, see their website, see their their articles, whatever they share with us, we share with you. That way we archive it, and then you will have that ability. We've had people call in live with crazy things. We broke the story about Hot Musket, which people then said was fake, yet the actual Pentagon spokesperson directly commented on something that was busted out on this tiny little show. Pretty crazy, right? They said, nope, it does not exist. And that's kind of what they say about a lot of things, including operations that are now declassified and 100% true. So with that being said, again, you can go to marfooglenews.com. You can sign up for alerts. You can get the schedule. You can subscribe to our other channels. You can do everything there. It's all centralized and in there. And you can sign up for the alerts, which we're going to be putting out information on NATO, all sorts of things. So first, I just want to do a quick sound check with Dex. Dex, are you there? Dex, are you there?
Hello, Marv, and hello, Fooglers.
That you don't sound like Dex at all.
Yeah, he's busy. He had the men in suits told me that he had to be away.
What men? Whoa! What are you, men in suits? What are you talking about? Who's this?
This is Bones.
Bones? Bones? What? How? Where? How does that work? What do you mean, Bones? What? So
yeah,
wait,
this is Bones. I'm in the studio. I'm in the studio east.
You're in Marfoogle Studios East.
Yes, I'm in Studio East.
And Dex is gone. Wait.
Yep.
How does this even work?
I'm running the show tonight.
Oh, this is not okay. Nobody told me. Wait, I have.
Hey, what do these buttons do over here?
What buttons?
The buttons on the right.
I don't know. Try pressing one. That's not funny at all. Well, Bones, I hope you do a good job.
Wait a minute. Oh, I think he might be coming back. Wait, hold on.
Now I'm super confused. Dex?
Hello, Adam, and I am here, and hello, Foogle fam.
So Bones is actually in Marfoogle Studios East. That's pretty crazy.
It was a surprise to me. I walked in, and he's on my mic and talking to you, and the show's going on.
Well, we'll have to talk about that later. Just make sure not to give him the secret sauce of Marfoogle News. Well, Dex, it's
under lock and key.
It's good to have you here, and the sound sounds great, and I guess we'll check in with Bones later. This might be our 100,000 subscriber special. We don't know. We're about 150 away from 100,000 subscribers. So if you all are watching and you do end up enjoying it, you can always press the subscribe button. If you are not subscribed, or if you are even subscribed, make sure to click the bell and push all. Because even if you are, you can be unsubscribed if you don't click that little bell. All right, so we're going to get into the news. We're going to get into the important stuff and the stuff that we called. Again, that was with the help of the Marfoogle family. So without further ado, I'm going to get into the news. Dex, thank you, and Bones, thank you. Now, if you guys remember, I have actually said for the last year, in fact, Bones found this article. And this is incredible because what have I been saying for this entire time? That, it doesn't matter if theirs are slightly less advanced. If they have 10, if they have, 10 of our jets copied, right? They say, oh, they're cheap jets. They don't have the same capabilities building jets. Well, I'm sorry, but if one of our top-of-the-line, most technologically advanced jets goes up against 10 of theirs, do you think that one is going to win? And I told you that they are making en masse all sorts of military equipment, including tanks, warships, everything else. Here is proof of what I've been saying, and it just came out on Forbes. It says, while the U.S. Navy launches a handful of Aegis destroyers each year, the single image below of a Shanghai shipyard shows more than 9 newly constructed Chinese warships. Chinese Navy, known as PLAN, People's Liberation Army Navy, is modernizing at an impressive rate on a vast scale. A key ingredient is the construction of a fleet of large destroyers, amphibious warships, and aircraft carriers. The below photo, snapped from an airplane window on December 13th and shared on social media, captures the vast scale of construction. So, like I said, guys, this is absolute proof. This is photos directly of them producing in mass warships. Now there's actual footage of the tanks that they are doing. They are getting ready for something big. And everybody laughed at us. Everybody's going to continue to laugh at us and say that we're fear-mongering and everything else. Eventually, we will have a third conflict. We just told you how a top Russian general actually said straight up, we are right around the corner from the third conflict. That video, by the way, just keeps getting marked. They do not like that one at all. So, with that being said, this is a big, big deal. We have told you, I said, it's going to be quantity over quality. Even if we have the most advanced jet in the air or the most advanced warship, there's something to be said about, you could have a karate master with a black belt, and it doesn't matter if there's 6 dudes, unless there's some sort of superhuman or a YouTube rarity, they're not going to win that fight. Now, we've seen that very rarely, but it just doesn't really happen, right? So again, they are making in mass, and they are preparing for something huge. This isn't the Sun, this isn't the Express, this is actually Forbes. There's other large mainstream articles covering this, along with a whole stream of other things too. It says, nearest the camera, a line of 4 newly constructed destroyers catch the sunlight. 2 are Type 052D air defense destroyers, generally equivalent to the U.S. Navy's Arleigh Burke-class Aegis destroyers. These displace about 7,500 tons and can carry 64 large missiles, including long-range surface-to-air missiles, or SAMs. So they can shoot our fancy jets out of the sky, or at least try to. And cruise missiles, which of course can be loaded up with some very nasty stuff. It says the other 2 larger Type 055 class ships, these are also described as air defense destroyers, but are verging on cruisers in terms of size and fit. These are about twice the displacement and carry about 100 large missiles. So this is a big deal, and we have called it. I've been saying all this time, and specifically, we actually called it a couple weeks ago and 3 months before that. Dex, are you there? I was going to pull you in for this.
Adam. Yeah. This is nuts. We have called this. We talked about it. We keep bringing up China, and it's not just us wanting to bring it up. It's in our face every day. Whether it was the South China Sea, to the different exercises that are happening, to now NATO is actually calling them the enemy. And they're putting the bullseye right on them, and boom, we got 9 ships coming out. This is escalation at its finest. They are becoming the new, the new major enemy, like we had with the Soviets in the Cold War, right? I mean, it's crazy.
Well, one thing to say about that, Dex. So this is the kind of thing that's very quietly being done, right? It's not plastered all over the front page. Forbes covered this, but not many people have been covering this. If I was able to see it, then obviously others would be able to see this too. Because we cover so many stories, we could see the pattern, and it was very, very clear 6 months ago and a year ago that this was heading towards this scenario with them building mass ships and especially outnumbering us because of their numbers.
Absolutely. It is in plain sight, but it is not in the forefront of everyone's attention right now. You gotta sort of read between the lines and see it, and it's clear because it's in plain sight.
Yeah, I mean, they're not, it's not like they're hiding it, but what they are hiding, and we've talked about this, they have satellite photos of all these covered places with ships all over the world. I mean, all of the places that China has docked, they are making these crazy, crazy large, visible from space, huge building areas. And I just straight up called it specifically that they were building more ships than we knew about. And it's almost like I said that and somebody looked it up and digged up and actually found this. Even though these pictures looks like they took, flew by with a plane or like a little Cessna and took the picture. If you watch my show enough, even a month ago or 2 months ago, I told you guys this. I knew, and this was from independent sources. This was from our military group. We have over 300 active and retired military folks in our Discord. Again, if we get information too, we make sure to try to put that out, and we put it out. We said that they were building ships in mass. They were going to outnumber us as a strategy. The thing is they can't outnumber us in technology. We have some of the most advanced ships in the world. And even though, especially the ones that we are now launching, they look like something. They look like the new Lexuses or something. They're just all boxy and ugly. Sorry, I'm not a big fan of the new Lexuses, but you know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think it's that stealth technology, right? They're trying to. They're shaped much differently to help reflect the radar.
Yeah, exactly. Just to give you a heads up, Dex, too, I know your mic is a little bit different. It was too quiet, and then it got super, super loud. Okay.
Right, it'll stay where it is now.
All right, no worries. So, again, I can't say enough. If you watched the shows where I've said this a month ago, 6 months ago, I know a lot of the people that watch this show every single night, you know exactly, this is exactly what I said. And that is, it's crazy. All right, so now this is the only article that is actually not from the last 2 days, and I want to point out something. Now, this is actually, again, this is total coincidence, but this is also from Forbes, and it says, if we discovered an asteroid would hit Earth in 20 years, how would we stop it? Now, I can actually show you, but we don't really need to. You can Google this exact sentence, and you will see that there's about 100 different mainstream articles about a 20-mile radius asteroid hitting Earth, and all of them ask the question, what if? Now, what if is a question that all of us ask, and especially here at Marfoogle TV, we actually ask it a lot, and that's the whole fun part of this. We're a community. Like, everybody here knows everybody, and this is something I've been talking about as well. I have followed this since they first announced HAMMER, Hypervelocity Asteroid Mitigation and Emergency Response Vehicles, which are essentially nukes strapped onto rocket ships. And whether you believe it or not, they are publicly saying that they are strapping nukes onto rocket ships, and that is possible. It's part of an operation to essentially either slow down, break up, or knock something off course in space. Then you had Russia following suit. Within 2 months, Russia had the same exact thing. Right around the same time, we had Sunspot Observatory shut down, and it was mysterious, and then they came up with this crazy cover story. Even though there was Black Hawks flying over, they evacuated the entire neighborhood around it, but then you end up finding out that it was a ring, one of those rings where men exchanged magazines with, the little ones. That's what they said. The observatory closed down because the guy had some sort of computer database in the observatory that had this huge ring going. And, even people in my niche believed it, and I don't blame them. I know somebody who actually went there and saw it, and he said there was nobody there. Nobody. No security, no nobody. And I was just thinking in my head, if you took the people that saw whatever you didn't want them to talk about, if you took those people, then of course there's nobody. There was no FBI. There was no, buses taking computer stuff out. There was no nothing. People went there from day one all the way through, and all those houses were evacuated. And I believe it's because they asked every person in that neighborhood what they saw, if they know the people at the observatory, did they tell them anything? That is my theory. And you guys can have yours. You can call in at 224-400-MARF. Again, the number is scrolling down here below if you want to give your opinion. So that is something I've talked about, and whether you agree or not, it's fine. If you don't, please call in and give us your thoughts. But we've talked about all of the missions, the OSIRIS-RExes, the several satellite missions, the space missions that are all dealing with asteroids. Now, how many countries now are trying to get to the moon all of a sudden? Don't you think that's a little bit weird, Dex?
Oh, yeah. I mean, we just heard that the Russians are trying to put a base for asteroid detection on the moon, right?
So something is going on, and then they all have said the same thing. It's so weird. Once I looked, and I'm like, how did so many people just happen to pick this random number? So a 20-mile wide asteroid headed for our way in the foreseeable future. It said, could there be an undiscovered, right? And I'm not saying there is. What I'm saying is we have been desensitized the last 2 or 3 years to asteroids. Every single day, do not tell me that there's not an article that says, oh, there's an asteroid that's flying by Earth that's the size of Giza, that's the size of the Eiffel Tower, that's the size of Big Ben, that's the size, the best one that I ever heard was Super Shark, Megalodon. Yeah, a asteroid the size of a megalodon flew by. And I was just thinking, like, what a weird thing to compare it to. They have done that every single day, and mostly it's like express articles, right? But then you have big mainstream articles talking about this and non-stop for now 2 or 3 years straight. And it's because it doesn't get out of our heads. This is one thing that we all think about this asteroid. Then I talked about how there was the simulation, this thing that they sent out to all these, the smartest people in the world. The most smartest. Yeah, and I'm included, right? The most smartest people in the world. This simulation that they did where they kind of played out this, mock asteroid simulation that in 2020 we were hit by something. And I just thought it was so weird. If you see the asteroid 2020 and it looks like an election sticker, that's actually going back to something that they have done. Dex, do you remember what that was? It was an actual official .gov website, right? It was a PDF.
Oh, yeah, I remember seeing it, and I'm trying to remember what it exactly was about. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. I'll find it.
Okay, if you could find it and put it up on the card, that would be great. If you look up Asteroid 2020 PDF, we can easily pull it up. So again, with this, they have not stopped talking about it. Now we have Russia trying to get up there and build a base against asteroids. Is this a big distraction or just the tiny chance, right? I think this is in the back of all of our heads. Even skeptics think, what if they already knew something was up there? Would that explain that Asgardia, all these elites that are trying to make a space-based race, they're setting up the government for a space-related base? Is it why Elon Musk has these, super fast deadlines of trying to terraform Mars? Is it why we're trying to get Neuralink so fast? Neuralink, of course, is basically embedding ourselves with the computer, with AI, and basically merging our brain with the computers. This is stuff out of sci-fi that is now reality. Maybe they are trying to do that because they are trying to come up, if we teamed up with AI, we could come up with an answer. All of a sudden, we could do the calculations in our head that would be able to solve the problems. Now, I just theorize about this kind of stuff, and I know that you guys are thinking it. I get emails all the time about asteroids and things like this because I've covered it for 1.5 years, 2 years, and I have never stopped asking the question, what if they did find one that was heading our way? Would they tell us? Absolutely not. Do you think that anybody would have civilization running like normal if they all knew that the entire Earth was going to be shattered in a matter of 10 years, 20 years? People would lose purpose. People would lose, if you thought, oh, I'm going to have a career, or I'm going to do this, or whatever. No, you're not, because you're going to die in a certain amount. That's the thing that keeps us all, we actually have something in our brain that forces us to not think about death. We're very against death. That's why they call it fear-mongering. Anytime you think about anything that, says you're going to die, people don't like to think about it. And we actually have something that just basically pushes that out of our way. We don't want to think about it ever. Death is something that we all do. It's inevitable, but yet we're so afraid of it. Now, as far as that goes, what do you think would happen if we knew what day we died? Nobody knows when they're going to die unless they're on death row. They just don't. And if the entire world was given a death sentence date, what do you think would happen? It would go nuts. I mean, it would be hell on earth. I don't think they would tell us, and I think that there's a lot of weird things that they're hiding from us that they're not telling us, and I'm like, why would they lie internally to themselves? Why would they tell top military officials to not tell us? All for some sort of like inside joke in the office, right? There's a lot of weird things that go with this. So again, it's something that I'm going to keep paying attention to. But again, this is we've got much more crazy current stuff right now. Along with that, Air Force to conduct its first space launch from Guam next year using a 747 jumbo jet. This is another case where they are trying to launch Space Force very quickly. They are trying to get Space Force up and running. And it says, the decision comes amid increasing interest in alternative space launch concepts, small satellites to respond to growing threats to space assets. It says the U.S. Air Force will conduct its first satellite launch from Guam next year using private space launch company Virgin Orbit's Cosmic Girl, a modified Boeing 747 mothership carrying a Launcher 1 air-launched booster rocket. And it says this underscores the inherent flexibility of this type of two-stage to-orbit launch concept, something that the U.S. military as a whole is increasingly interested in as it seeks options for rapid access to space in the face of growing threats to American interests in orbit. So there's obvious that there's a ton of threats there that they're not telling us about as far as from other countries in space and so on. Real quick, Kathleen Pereira, Tara Kohauthon, The Truth Will Set You Free, Myrna Morales, Lindsay Rennick, Nefarious Minds, welcome to the channel. Thank you for subscribing. Julie Sanders, thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate it. All right, let's see here. U.S. Air Force Lieutenant Colonel Ryan Rose, who runs the Small Launch and Targets Division within the Air Force Space and Missile Systems Center Launch Enterprise Systems Directorate, revealed that the service had settled on Guam and Virgin Orbit's aerial space launch system in an interview with Space News on December 18, 2019. The Air Force had announced that it had hired Vox Space. Vox, really? A subsidiary of Virgin Orbit focused on competing with U.S. government contracts for the launch, known formally as STP-27VP, in April, but did not say where it would take place. So this is all going on very fast. This is a scary feature too, as all of us have thought about the eerie feeling of going to the bank on a Friday and it not working, or anyone else's for that matter. Something very close to this happened, and some people think that it's a test. Direct deposits across America hang after Federal's ACH payment system suffers major disruption. Now, we've been talking about 4 cities disrupted, major hacks. I mean, we're talking about entire cities hacked. Louisiana got hacked. New Orleans hacked. 2 places in Florida hacked, including, I can't remember the 2 cities, Dex, but if you have it, Pensacola was one of them, and there was another one that just happened. I think it was Miami, but I could be wrong. And then it was Miami?
No, it wasn't Miami. It was one of the St. Lucie or something like that.
St. Lucille, I think. St. Lucille, maybe. And then you had Sacramento, California, hacked. And it was into weird stuff like background checks and employment records and things like this. So, and it was just so weird because somebody actually called out, one of our viewers, of all people, called in after we read the first city that got hacked. And they said, well, what if they were fitting people in, making them fake accounts, making fobs? Just want you guys to know, a lot of the city's internal clouds are what makes fobs and entry keys and things like this. In fact, some vehicles are now fob. So think about that. Taking a government vehicle or something like a one thing I have not confirmed yet is the SWAT vehicles, which, by the way, the sheriff's department was hacked, by the way. The SWAT vehicles have a fob to start. Now that sounds crazy to me. So if you guys can confirm it, if there's any police in the audience, let us know. Because now a lot of the modern engines, everything else is made with keyless fobs. Now, it would sound crazy, right? You're thinking, like, why would they have a keyless fob to a SWAT vehicle? But it actually makes a lot of sense. Police vehicles, a lot of the time, are just like left on. Nobody really touches them. But again, they have to jump in and out of their car. So it makes sense that their key would be in their pocket. If they're not in the car, you can't start the car. But if you make a fake fob to a real vehicle, especially a SWAT vehicle, that would be pretty crazy, don't you think? So again, with all of those 4 cities that have been compromised, there's the actual government, the federal system, the banking system has now been compromised as well. Dallas Bathtub Refinishing says, let's love mob Marf with the exact same thing he never asks for. Imagine $5 or $2 from all of us in the spirit of love and Christmas. Thank you, Dallas Bathtub Refinishing. Dude, nobody needs to super chat. Just get your brother or sister or somebody to subscribe. If we hit 100,000 tonight, that would be amazing. Samantha Anderson, Merry Christmas. Wish I could do more. No worries. It is not asked for and not required. Thank you, Samantha Anderson. Says Merry Christmas. And then Elysia Renteria. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Rebecca Ann, welcome to the fam. Mods, make sure to welcome them. All right, and it says, in recent years, banks and credit card processors had blamed hackers, blackouts, infrastructure inefficiencies, and of course, the Russians for periodic service outages. As of today, they are now blaming the Fed itself. Starting around 7 a.m., there was a surge of outages reported at Capital One. Now, remember, it is Friday today, which really scares me right before Christmas. They say no patriot should be at home for the holidays. This is kind of freaky. Just saying. With Down Detector noting that while focused on the Northeast, the outages were nationwide. Now, look at this outages. That is insane. So this was a lot of the East Coast, and really all the major cities had this outage of direct payment. And now, Dex, is this fixed yet? I mean, are these people waiting until Monday to get paid? Like, this is the biggest fear for a lot of people.
Yeah, I believe it was resolved by the next day. But yeah, this was a big deal. And when this kind of stuff happens, it really can, it can cause a lot of panic. If people don't get their payment and they feel like, it causes a lot of personal stress. But if it happens to a lot of people, it can be a big deal that can turn up, a lot of turmoil in the nation. So we can't have this kind of thing happening.
No, and especially with people's payments right before Christmas. Just that thought alone, people not getting paid right before Christmas. I know that there's a lot of people, including myself, that are literally dependent on that paycheck right before Christmas, and it's scary. It really is. Not getting that. That is not fun. Now, it says, according to Capital One, network issues at the Federal Reserve were causing certain banking transactions to be delayed. It says, we're monitoring the situation closely in partnership with the Fed. Capital One said in a tweet. Capital One says it will make sure transactions are posted as soon as possible and as soon as Fed issues are resolved. During the day, customers on Twitter of Capital One and other banks have complained that their direct deposits have been delayed. Man, that is a very scary thought. Now, Dex, since you're our tech specialist, again, Dex was very high up in several tech companies. Explain the NSA allowed to unmask U.S. citizens without surveillance warrant.
Well, yeah, so this is a really interesting thing. So the U.S. court, basically, it's allowing the NSA to unmask. And if you know what unmask means, it means that they can actually look and see who the identity is of the person they're listening to when they're listening to surveillance information. And it used to be to get that against a U.S. citizen, you had to have a warrant. And now they don't have to. Now they're saying, based on this court ruling, that they can actually determine that it was Dex on the phone or it was another U.S. citizen. They can look at the person, figure out the name, know exactly who it is, and they don't need a warrant. That's pretty scary.
And it's something that, 5 years ago, people would have been up in arms and just completely screaming to high hell. And not really many people are talking about it because it seems like the people are now trained that they just expect us to lose all kinds of liberties. It's pretty insane. With everything that's going on, it's really scary to really hear about all these things happening. All right, let's see. Well,
this is the thing that we thought, Adam. This is the thing we actually thought they would do to us, and they do. And we think behind the scenes, they're looking at us or they can look at us. But now it's like legal for them to do it. That's a big deal. It's okay. Go ahead. They're allowed to do it.
Yeah, and of course, with much approval from the higher ups. Just to explain exactly, the U.S. Court of Appeals ruled on Wednesday that the U.S. government may collect information about a U.S. citizen without first obtaining a surveillance warrant. Just that sentence alone should hurt. As long as it was done so inadvertently while legally monitoring a non-national abroad. So, again, they could use any excuse. They could say, well, his neighbor is from Italy. Oh, well, you know what? He has a cousin that's from Spain. Let's monitor him. Again, they can choose any reason they want. As we've seen with everything that's gone on currently, with this current crime conviction of Mr. T-Man, President, Commander-in-Chief, we've seen it. And it's happening. And they can basically just bend the rules or say something else. It's not too fun. Pretty crazy. And now, GOP gives T-Man unapologetic embrace over Mrs. Peach. Now, we all know what happened. Sadly, we have a lot of people that are literally so... I'm trying to find a word to be nice. On Twitter, all over the place, there were SJ dubs. There were just these morons, no offense, that thought because the president was impeached that he was no longer president. They actually celebrated. There was videos of people popping champagne. So you're getting like 10 of these. In fact, one group was Antifa. And they were literally celebrating with champagne that T-Man was no longer president. And it's just hilarious. If you look at any of those threads on Twitter, they are freaking absolutely hilarious. Everybody's like, well, should we tell them? Should we tell them? In fact, I tweeted out a couple of them. It was pretty funny. One of the guys did one of these. He had pink hair and he was sitting there and he goes, it's like, the feeling, waking up knowing that T-Man is not our president anymore. And he was from Maine, Antifa. I was like, first of all, I said on this, and I know some will get mad at me for this, but my personal belief is that if you don't know what impeachment means, and you think that the president is no longer president because he got impeached, then you shouldn't be protesting him being a president in the first place. You clearly do not know enough about politics to even know if he's qualified, because you're not even qualified to protest. No offense. And no offense to the people that didn't know what impeachment means. That's fine. But don't protest something when you know nothing about it. It's honestly the craziest thing I've ever heard. And hundreds of thousands, I'm guessing, thought that he was no longer the president. It was mostly the new generation because most of us lived through Bill Clinton getting it. You know, some people lived through, I guess two of them were in modern times, right? What was the third one? That was, was it?
Yeah, I don't remember the other one, but Nixon in theory would have been, but he resigned.
That's right. So but there was one way before Nixon, though, right? Before even your time.
There was.
I meant our time.
Yes. Funny. The funny one I heard, though, Adam, was that some people were saying, oh, if T-Man's impeached, then he can technically, the first term doesn't count, so he can actually run for 2 more terms again, get him for 3 terms.
Oh, that was something you heard. That's okay.
Something I heard.
Okay, that's really dumb. But that is, yeah. That sounds better. Like I wouldn't get mad at that person. I would be like, that's awesome. I wish that was true.
Well, it's just the absurdity on both sides for that argument, but yeah, it's a big deal. It's certainly not done. Like they're going to go to the Senate, and we got to see what happens there with the trial, and how that plays out. But yeah, it's a big deal in history. It's sort of it's not a great thing to see this happen to a leader of our country, no matter who the leader is.
Well, and the crazy thing about this too is he's the kind of guy that he's accomplished. He's proud of his accomplishments. He's the guy that puts his name on everything. He puts his name that's my building. You could say he is one of only 3 men in the world to do something. So that's how he rolls. He'll be like, I'm one of only 3 men to be impeached. That is pretty cool, right? And it would be even more of a victory for him, I guess, personally, no matter if you like him or dislike him, doesn't matter. I'm sure he'll see it as a victory if he actually gets elected again on top of that. Now, Amanda Little, Merry Christmas, Marf. That's funny. I tried to fix it for you. It says Merry Christmas, Mark. Joking, Marf. Love you, Foogle fam. That's awesome, Amanda. Thank you. Mama Henry, Merry Christmas, Marf and fam. Barefoot Lass, Merry Christmas, Marf and Marfoogle family. Melissa C, Love Mob, first-time donation, long-time listener. Merry Christmas to you and the whole Foogle fam. Pay it forward. Well, thank you, thank you. Jesse Rainey, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the Foogle fam. Kevin Foogle fam. Foogles support our channels and spread the truth. JD Forney, Merry Christmas, everyone. Jimmy Shively, Merry Christmas, brother. Stay up, stay positive. Heavenbound 813, Love Mob, Merry Christmas, y'all. Much love for Arizona. Thank you for the $25 super chat. Seriously, not required, but appreciated much. Heaven's Calling, we do love and appreciate the Foogle fam. Thanks, Adam, Dex, Jay, and Mods. God bless everyone. And that, of course, was, I believe, either Argentina or Australian $50. So thank you. That's much appreciated. K91011 says nothing, but did super chat $2. Thank you so much. Murphy's Law, Merry Christmas. Foo fam, love mob. Christian says Merry Christmas. Baby Yoda says, hey Marf, love your closing music. Cracks me up. You're my best to the mods. So Baby Yoda says, what's up, mods? That's awesome. Thanks, Baby Yoda. I saw you at other streams today. I can't remember. I was in a lot of them. Happy Cheek Clean Broom. Happy Chick Clean Boom. Merry Christmas, Marf. Out of Sync says Love Mob. Christian says Love Mob. Jabber's Justice. Man, you guys this is Christmas time, I guess. Well, thank you. Merry Christmas to the Marfoogle family. Donating to the Foogles, Adam and fam, directly for a great Christmas, not for the show. That's awesome. Thank you. That's really appreciated. Connie G, Rebecca Ann, thank you guys so much. Alicia Rentira, thank you again. All right. So this isn't even the big thing. We haven't even got to the big crazy stuff. T-Man tells Raleigh he's not worried about impeachment, privately plots vengeance. I bet he does. We're going to actually, since we're running on time, we have this on the website if you want to go to it and actually read the rest of this article. We picked it out. Any article that we don't end up hitting but we put on there is something that's interesting, something that we think matters. So please go over to marfooglenews.com to check out that article. And then 5 earthquakes in less than a day rattle secretive Navy base in Mojave Desert, USGS says. With Ridgecrest, that was one thing, right? We had 2 of the largest earthquakes in decades go off right there in the, not in the Mojave Desert. And now you've got this. It says FEMA explains what you should do before an earthquake happens and when it occurs in an animated video called, quote, When the Earth Shakes by FEMA. A cluster of earthquakes shook a secretive Navy bases in the Mojave Desert on Thursday afternoon and before dawn Friday, geologists say. Numerous small quakes hit in and around Navy Air Weapons Station China Lake, according to the U.S. Geological Survey. 5 of the quakes were higher than a 2.5 magnitude between 3 p.m. Thursday and 3:30 a.m. Friday in Ridgecrest. So again, this Ridgecrest thing that's going on there, which by the way, it epicentered right underneath a weapons testing base. You can't get much more easy and, see-through than that. It was a place where they test weapons, and it started a earthquake that was felt. We had callers from 500 miles away saying that they felt it. We had callers from 300 miles away with their pools going like this. Normal earthquakes do not go that far. Normal earthquakes do not register that big that far. And a lot of people are saying, why didn't it register as a bigger earthquake from what happens, from what videos we're taking? We showed you that. If you look, we did a live stream after the Ridgecrest earthquake, and we had you guys call in. We had so many people. Do you remember that, Dex? I mean, we had probably 10 callers from Ridgecrest or out of state.
Yeah, and they were all around and from various different locations, like you said, up to many hundreds of miles away, and they felt it.
We're talking about 500 miles away. One was 600 miles away, and they felt this earthquake. That's a bigger distance from here to Oregon, I think. I might have just sounded really dumb. I think, yeah, it is, because the entire Cascadia subduction zone is 700 miles. So you're talking about feeling an earthquake that happens in Oregon, in Seattle, or, even farther. I mean, that's nuts. Something different was about this. And then people said it sounded like a big pop, like it wasn't like a rolling effect. And then the rolling effect actually happened 500-600 miles away. What kind of earthquake is that? That sounds like a centered pop and then a roll effect, like a shock wave going out. Like something sudden happened. I don't know what really happened. There's all sorts of theories. People think that there's water underneath, that there's lava underneath. They think that it is volcanic, and that's only because they've got planes flying over these weird lines. They've got all sorts of things that we've talked about on the show. So there's all sorts of weird stuff going on. It says a massive 7.1 magnitude earthquake on July 6 was also centered on the base and forced the evacuation of the massive installation, according to KTLA. That was the biggest earthquake in the area in 2 decades, according to the USGS. It says a series of major earthquakes in early July around the Navy base, but 150 miles from Los Angeles drew worries about, quote, the big one. So they're talking about all of this being connected to other things, and it is coming. Now, I'm actually going to, hold on. Okay, we are going to hit this now. If you've ever heard of Agenda 2030, this is a big deal. To sum up, and I'm going to hit this in, it says dorm housing, communal TVs, underground tunnels envisioned for an all-inclusive, I love how they use all-inclusive, $3 billion 300-acre city for the homeless. That's right. For the homeless. And we're talking RFID chips, tunnels, craziness, high density stacked people. This is a mega city for the homeless. And it's going to be super high. I mean, we're talking stacking them on top of each other. It says a California crowdfunding effort is hoping to solve the U.S. homeless crisis by building a 300-acre open city exclusively to those without a home. Dwayne Nason, founder of Folsom-based Citizens Again, released detail, and I like how it's Folsom, right? Folsom-based Citizens. Did you catch that? Like Folsom Prison? Folsom-based Citizens Again released details Thursday of his plans for an estimated $3 billion private city equipped with amenities and services for a 150,000 high-needs population. California's homeless population in 2018 was almost 130,000, which is nearly a quarter of the national total, according to most recent data, federal data. It says qualified citizens, those who meet as yet undisclosed criteria, will be allowed to live in the city and are free to leave whenever they wish, says Nason. Which, by the way, I don't even know why they added that. It says, and I honestly, the fact that they added will be allowed to live in the city and are free to leave whenever they wish. I love how they add that because they know they're making it the camp type thing.
Absolutely. That's the sugar, right? That's don't look here. There's nothing wrong. You're free to come and go.
And it says some might want to stay forever. Yeah, I'm sure, right? They're going to make some sort of, I don't even know what you call that, a tropical paradise for the homeless. According to a press release, the all-inclusive city will offer high-density housing in dormitories consisting of sleeping quarters and communal bathrooms with private showers. Are they really making these for homeless? Residents would be provided, get this, RFID-enabled wristbands to gain access to their dorm rooms, as well as perform tasks such as job check-in, purchasing items with credits, medicine consumption, and more. Each of the 4 neighborhoods will have their own cafeteria and kitchen and multiple scheduled eating times to accommodate a 150-person population, according to Nason. Okay, so first off, if you don't know anything about Agenda 2030, there's a theory that most of us will be pushed into the cities, into mega cities, and this almost looks like a test. Does it not, Dex? Is this what you were thinking when you read this?
Yeah, it certainly looks like a test. It's like let's make this. If it works well for homeless, then let's either make more of them and make more homeless people, or let's model this in a way to entice more people into these types of camps. And I look at it as a camp. You know, the first time I read this,
they do jobs. They do jobs and tasks. What are they going to have them making license plates next?
Yeah, you know, it was so crazy when I first read this article. I had to go look at the source. I was like, this can't be real. This has to be like one of those, you know, Onion articles or something. But no, CBS.
Not only that, if you think about it, a city like this, and sorry guys, my nose is super stuffed, so I'm like super hard to breathe. A city like this, with everything that's going on, they have them, maybe they're preparing for the mass, job unemployment, because they are literally getting rid of almost every job. If you look at where we are headed with technology, truck drivers, plumbers, try to list any that you know of that we've covered. They have a robot that is going to replace burger flippers. So I'm not even kidding you. They have a burger flipping robot at a McDonald's somewhere. And this is a robot that's actually going to be taking over a lot of these fast foods. You don't have to pay insurance on them too. So not only minimum wage jobs, but actual skilled jobs. Pilots on commercial jets. They actually have an AI-driven pilot that actually sits in the seat, or can sit without the seat. They can take the seat out, or they can put it in the seat. And it actually flies the plane completely without a human from point A to point B. With the technology that Tesla is coming out with, that's going to replace that. You've got truck drivers. They're coming out with the AI-driven truckers. In fact, Bones. Can you get Bones on real quick? Bones is a truck driver that drives cross country. He's already seen So Bones, you were one of the first people. By the way, Bones is normally a mod, but he's traveling through Georgia, so he went and visited mod Dex. Now, you were the one who originally sent me the one about trucks. You've watched, as we've covered it, all these jobs are getting replaced by robots. What did you actually send me with that trucking article?
Well, there was a couple of autonomous trucks that were going from Texas to California. They were testing it out, and what they would do is they would go from point A to point B, and then an actual truck driver would come and pick that up from the autonomous truck and take it to where it was supposed to be delivered to. Now, recently they actually did a truckload of butter, 40,000 pounds of butter, went from California to Pennsylvania.
So all the way across the country.
Yep.
See, that's scary. So I wonder if this is some sort of plan, because they know that all these people are not going to have jobs. And we covered, welding. There's going to be machines for that. We've covered a ton. I mean, literally a ton of jobs. Oh, and we've actually posted little ones like Walmart, the floor cleaners. You would always used to go in to a store at 3 a.m. and see somebody polishing the grocery store floor. Now it's a machine that drives around. Go ahead.
When these people don't have these jobs anymore, what better way to do it by putting them in a camp?
Well, and, they're calling them a high-density city, right? And they have jobs, they have little tasks, and they think, they got free housing, right? He made a comment, says, they'll want to stay forever. Yeah, because, they're doing tasks, whatever else. They've actually tested, last couple of years, giving alcoholics alcohol, and they say that they drink less, and taxpayers are paying for this, right? Seattle was one of the first ones. They actually go to a desk, like a counter, and they go, here's my token, and then they give them a 6-pack of beer, or they'll give them one tall can at a time, so they have to come for every tall can. And there's a guy behind like a glass, like has literally everybody's favorite thing. Like if their thing's beer, this, that, then they get it and they give it to them. And this is real. And they were doing it as a test, and it worked out. A lot of the people drank less because it wasn't like something they weren't supposed to do. A lot of people are oppositional defiant disorder, like ODD. So they learned when they gave it to them, and now that they're off the street, they gave them a place to live. They gave them alcohol. They didn't really want it, right? Now, with this, it's like maybe they were testing part of that whole thing. You give them a place to live, you pay for all of that, but then you have them do menial jobs, work, and they're working for free or they're working for their housing. That's a way to survive. And if it gets to the point where you literally have to do that to survive, people will do it. It's like a slow training process, and they're doing it through the generations. I don't even know what's going to happen to our kids because our kids are so technologically dependent. You turn off the lights, they're all just done. They don't know what to do. What are people going to do when they need to survive and they have to Google it? Nobody's remembering anything. Kids don't even know their parents' phone numbers because they don't type phone numbers. They just say mom or, hey, okay, Google, call mom. It's just scary.
Adam, did you notice the part in here about the neighborhoods will be fitted with tiered seating for residents to watch TV in a community setting within their neighborhood? So think about that. I'm just envisioning in my mind a group of people that are only allowed to come to one place to watch programming that's being programmed to them. We think today we're getting programmed when we watch television. Imagine how the programming works in a community when you're forced to go sit in a certain area with a bunch of people and you're basically being brainwashed.
It sounds like jail, right? Who's going to be the tank? Who decides what to watch? Who's going to be the tank boss saying, yeah, I want Little House on the Prairie. I want Little House on the Prairie. No, we're not watching Springer. Not again. I've watched it 4 days in a row. No personal experience there. And it says part of the effort will involve building underground tunnels, which deliveries can be made and city workers can commute to job sites in order to minimize disruption of citizen life. Are you effing kidding me? So they're in this gated area. Everything is self-sufficient. No outside people, even the outside delivery people, are going to be underground. Nobody sees this for what it is. They're packing them into stacked houses. Anybody from the outside has to go underground, and they're not seen to minimize disruption of citizen life. This is craziness. All of the things that were called theories, I don't even use the C word on this channel anymore. All the things that were called C theories are now happening. These are sci-fi movies every single day in real articles, real things happening. People used to say stuff like, Marfoogle reads mainstream news. Mainstream news is where all of the big things are happening. This is what they're telling us. This is what they're distracting us with. This is what needs to be said, talked about, and questioned. It says when those living in the city are prepared to leave, they'll be provided with job and life skills training along with counseling and therapy, Nason says. It will be a city they'll want to live in. See, they're doing everything now to get our profiles down, right? All the tech companies are profiling us, knowing what triggers us, what makes us want to stay, right? What if this is one big experiment of getting people to want to stay there? Because think about what all of these platforms do. They want you to stay on the platform. They want you on the platform. Don't leave the platform. What keeps you an extra 2 minutes, an extra 5 minutes? What if this is the next step? Keep you 5 more days, 2 more years, 3 more years, 6 more years. We want you to stay in this area. Oh, people left. Maybe we need to change the communal videos. Maybe we need to change what's being watched. Maybe we need to, change the program. Everything is a test. We're all guinea pigs in this world right now. says it will be a city they'll want to live in, a community they'll want to be a part of. And for those that desire an opportunity to gain life skills and integrate back into society, according to Citizens Again website. That's insane. It's pretty sad. And what's crazy is no matter what, even if they don't get the funding for it, there's big names willing to back it. It's agenda. We'll just say that. Apple has secret team working on satellites to beam data to devices. Now, Dex, this is a tech story, so I'm going to let you handle this one.
Yeah, I'll keep it simple. I mean, this is really interesting though. We've seen, talked about Musk and his plans to put a bunch of satellites in the sky to build a communication network. Apparently, Apple is joined in on doing that as well, and we're not sure exactly what, because it's a lot of leaked rumors coming out of the company, and they won't comment on it. But apparently, they are going down a path of trying to circumvent the data that we're getting today from cellular companies and get it directly via satellite or low Earth orbit transmissions directly into the phones. So that's kind of an interesting tech play, but it's also an interesting thing to see that there's more and more people, more and more companies that are looking to sort of cloud the skies with all of these different things, and it's going to be a much different looking night sky for us in the future.
Yeah, and I was just watching Red Pill 78 had a show on with Crow 777, who has all this space gear that looks into space, and talked about how much stuff is up there. Now, more than ever, there's just an incredible amount of satellites. I mean, you see them every 2 minutes. I remember when I was a kid, I looked up at the sky all the time after Hale-Bopp, or I think not Hale-Bopp. It was what was the comet that came by in like 90?
Halley's Comet.
Halley's Comet, right?
Yeah.
96 or
Halley's
something
Comet.
like that.
Yeah, that's it.
After that came by, I looked at the sky all the time. I was just waiting to see. Like, that was so magical seeing Halley's Comet. I was blown away by that. I was the only one in my family. Nobody even knew it was happening. I like yelled for my family to come out, and I was the only one who saw it. And when Halley's Comet, I still remember to this day, I saw a triangle of lights, and then one went to where the other one was, and then another one went to the other one. I remember it was like one of those, almost like the Orion film production, those production intros when there's a movie. It reminded me of that, because the stars were like, they looked like stars, but it was in a perfect triangle. One replaced this one, that one replaced that one, and that one replaced. So they all three did this like weird twist. I knew nothing about triangles. I knew nothing about UFOs. But I remember that to this day, clear as day. And ever since then, I've always looked up at the sky. Every single day, anytime I'm walking out. Some people, I know people that look at the ground all the time. They always find a $100 bill or $5 bill. I've got a brother-in-law that literally finds $5 all the time. I'm like, how do you find money? And I know why, too. He's got a background in looking in the ground for little things, right? But I'm always looking at the sky, and back then, you never saw satellites like you do now. Now you see them all the time. It's insane. So, it's nuts that we live in this time where everything is different. Deadly shooting at Russia Security Service headquarters. Now, I know there's something weird here. I would love for you guys, my viewers, to actually put something together on this and send it to me. Again, this is a weird thing. It says a shootout occurred in central Moscow at the Lubyanka headquarters of Russia's Federal Security Service as President Vladimir Putin was scheduled to attend a Kremlin concert less than a mile away to commemorate their work. It says the FSB, as the intelligence service is known, said one of its officers was killed in the attack on Thursday by a lone gunman who failed to get into the building. The Interfax News Service reported. A bang-bang man was neutralized, and there were people wounded, according to Interfax, citing the FSB. 3 security guards were killed and 3 others were wounded, according to the Avestia news website, citing a source it didn't identify. The Bang Bang Man used a Kalashnikov assault weapon, RBC media reported, citing an unidentified person. One thing about Russian stuff is there'll be 5 different sources saying 5 different things. And a lot of the things, like, I would love to have a source over there that could actually just tell us what's actually going on. This, I believe, is above. I don't think the public knows even there. I think this is something that's really weird. This probably has, connections with internal. This is something internal in their system. This is something that's really weird over there. And if I was a YouTuber born in Russia, I would be talking about this. Because I think there's something up with this. The weird stories I've heard people saying that this is related to, I don't know. So I'm going to ask you guys, do a report on this. Email me. Comment below what you think it is. I'd love to hear it. Chinese national arrested for illegally entering Mar-a-Lago. This is the second one. So they are constantly trying to get into the Mar-a-Lago resort for whatever reason. Maybe they heard it's a good stay. Sorry, I didn't even mean to do that. They heard it was a good stay. A Chinese national trespass. No, it wasn't. But I laugh at my own jokes, anyways. A Chinese national trespassed at President Donald's Mar-a-Lago club Wednesday and was arrested when she refused to leave. Police said the second time this year, a woman from that country has been charged with illicitly entering the Florida resort. It says Jing Lu, 56, was confronted by the private club's security officers and told to leave, but she returned to take photos. Palm Beach police spokesman Michael Ogrenedick. I'm going to get censored for this. What is Ogrenedick? Ogrenedick. Nick. Ogrodnik said in an email, Palm Beach officers were called and arrested her. It was determined she had an expired visas. Ogrodnik said. Okay, I'm done. Liu was charged with loitering and prowling and was being held late Wednesday at the Palm Beach County Jail. Don't know about that. Obviously, why do they want to go to Mar-a-Lago? That's what I don't get. Do they think that, like, T-Man's going to be there all the time? I mean, he is there a lot. I mean, do you think that that's like somebody trying to knock him off or something? Like, I don't get that.
Yeah, there's got to be. It's either just insane wanting to be fandom, or there's something else going on here with the nationalists that are trying to come in and get information. There's something interesting there. It
seems weird to me. I don't know. Let's see here. And what do you guys think? Why do you think that they keep trying to sneak into Mar-a-Lago? Do you guys think that, I'd love to hear it in the chat too. What do you think that's going on? I don't get it. Looking for a job? Nick. I love you guys. Oh, Grod Nick. I love you. I love it. They're helping with the pronunciation. Somebody said, thanks for the early shoutro, Adam. That's awesome. Again, Chinese parts, hidden ownership, growing scrutiny inside America's biggest voting machine maker. Who didn't see that one coming? It says the secrecy of ES&S and its competitors had pushed politicians to send the companies letters requesting information on security, oversight, finances, and ownership. It says this month, a group of politicians sent the private equity firms that own the major election vendors a letter asking them to disclose a range of information, including ownership, finances, and research investments. It says, again, sorry guys, I can't breathe with my nose, so I have to take deep breaths. The voting machine lobby, led by the biggest company, ES&S, believes they are above the law, said Senator Ron Wyden, D. Oregon. I don't know why I said that. D. Grodnick, a member of the Intelligence Committee who co-signed the letter. Says, quote, they have not had anybody hold them accountable, even on the most basic matters. So we have a Chinese company making our voting machines, and they're looking at T-Man? Like, are you guys just like... And I bet it's been this way for a while, right? Like, when did they start ordering it from this company?
Maybe it's just that we can't say it was the Russians anymore, so now they're going to China.
Oh my God! Like, seriously though, why would you have the one thing? Like, are you just like completely illiterate? Just and like that in the nicest way? No offense to illiterate. In fact, that's like offensive to illiterate people. You get the United States election system voting machines from China. Made in China? Our voting system is made in China. Our votum. Now I'm going to have to start the whole show over. Our voting system is made in China. Had to get that through. Just so people know. Stupidest thing I've ever heard. All right, let's go to the next one. Surveillance footage outside EpiPen's cell during suicide attempt is missing. Who didn't see that one coming? Now, when I heard this, I actually thought it was really weird that I was like, I thought it was already missing. But apparently this was other footage that is now missing as well. Didn't you think, like, when you first saw this, did you think, oh, this is an old article? But again, another piece of footage is lost.
Right, and I thought they originally said the cameras were broken. But now they're saying there was footage. They're admitting by saying it's missing that it must be that it was actually there.
This says so much. It's like at this point, there's so much that tells the American people. I mean, like, this is like, it's almost like the people hiding it are like throwing clues like, hey, I'm sorry, I can't tell you, but I'm basically telling you that there's a huge freaking Lifetime television movie here. Like, this is the craziest thing, that there are so many things that are so clearly a high-end James Bond film going on right in front of our eyes. This guy got knocked off in a prison, and now everybody knows it. I mean, you know, a lot of people think it's a joke, and it's a funny joke. These Christmas ornaments don't hang themselves. They've got EpiPen Christmas ornaments, which I just, it's kind of crazy because this is kind of marks history right now. This is the first year there's going to be actual EpiPen's heads on Christmas trees. That's insane. And that actually means a whole lot more than just a stupid story. That literally means thousands and thousands, if not millions of people just woke up to how messed up it really is here. Now, normies, it's almost like 2001 September for all the rest of us, right? That's when a lot of us woke up. For the people that didn't wake up, that were just shocked, red-eyed, angry at a country they don't even know what they did, now it's like the normies are going, whoa, this is messed up. This guy got away with it. People let him do it. They gave him a private freaking resort when he got caught for diddling diddles. It's like, are you kidding me? This is literally real. Every one of the theories was real. And now we're seeing that. Teen girl sneaks into a small plane, drives it into fence. That's Associated Press for you. They've got to cover pretty much everything. They basically said that she climbed a fence, topped the barbed wire, Fresno Yosemite International Airport, started up the plane, and crashed into the fence. Now, this isn't that big of a deal, but Dex, what does that mean for the average, T, or ist?
Right, like you could just walk in and grab a plane.
Apparently.
If you know how to fly it, you won't run it into a fence.
And then think about, all those Arabian pilots that went AWOL, like half of them, after being trained by the United States government how to fly. Makes you think. The more you know. We need the more you know sound for your sound machine. You know what I'm talking about? The sparkles with the star that goes over?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. What if it's copyrighted? Sure,
this one is funny. Dex, you found this. I thought this was freaking hilarious, and I could totally see this being like, I have a specific family member that I would think, like, if he was a robber, this would be him. La Cruces, New Mexico, a suspected robber who face planted into a Pizza Hut door before fleeing has been arrested thanks to the DNA evidence he left behind, police said. Markle Deshawn Barnes, 19 years old, was taken into custody last week in Albuquerque, New Mexico, after a forensic laboratory matched his DNA, the Las Cruces Sun News reports. It says, according to police, officers had swabbed the door for possible DNA evidence from the June 2019 robbery of a Pizza Hut in La Cruces. It says investigators took the DNA after reviewing surveillance images and seeing the 19-year-old face planting into a locked door. Oh, and you know what's funny is any one of us could have done this too. Have you ever gone for the 2-door system and for whatever reason it's like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, but yet they've got one freaking locked? Why do they do that? Like, and at a Pizza Hut, like, it's not like you're usually afraid of people getting robbed at Pizza Huts. Usually like 7-Elevens get knocked off, or like a mini mart. I get that. But locking one of the doors, the ground lock that always makes you faceplant the door, that's what got him. And it actually caught him. I wonder, in all reality, how many crooks they've caught by forehead juice on the locked door of a business. Maybe that's why they do it. Maybe some independent owner is like, no, always lock the right door. People faceplant it, and they're like, why would you want that? When we get robbed, you'll be saying thank you. It's the weirdest story I've ever heard. Mark Sketch Marf, they are talking about the vid from the initial attempt, not the actual one. The attempted one was held, but has gone missing from storage. Okay, so they're talking. So Mark Sketch is correcting me on the EpiPen tape. Says again, Marf, they are talking about the vid from the initial attempt, not the actual one. The attempted one was held but has gone missing from storage. So I wonder then if there was something on that tape or someone that was on that tape that they didn't want on there. That's what I wonder. Who Flung Dung? Merry Christmas, Foogle fam. Have a great one, and no fighting, please, with each other. That is a great, great suggestion, Who Flung Dung. And yes, that's his name. I love your name, by the way. I'm still asking who. Lady of the Woods, Merry Christmas, Foogle fam, Marf, and team. Thank you for your hard work. That is super appreciated, Lady of the Woods. Thank you so much. Steve Conert, I will not do that. Says, suck my FDM. No, thanks. I'm good. 1 Corinthians, but thanks, dude. That's awesome. Like, when a troll gives his hard-earned money to the person he hates. 1 Corinthians 15:1-4, believe. Thank you for the $20. It says, thank you, Marv, for providing a show with truth that is very serious, but doesn't make me want to pull my hair out, hit my head against the wall, poke my eyes out, and run down the street with the tinfoil hat. Keep the faith. You left out hit the locked door. Yeah. Lisa, a.k.a. Dugan Creation, says 3 shells, Demolition Man. It's Wesley I, 70 Man Hatter, says thanks, Marf, up to 750 subs now. It's Wesley, the I, 70 Man Hatter. That's awesome. You're almost at 1,000. One thing I would suggest, though, is if you do ever call in and we show your channel, you might want to think about changing it to something a little easier. One of my mods, Trinity Red Pill or Blue Pill, Hi Ho Kermit the Frog here is her name, and it's really hard to find. So I think she's going to change it one of these days. But yeah, just a suggestion. I like you and your channel, but your name might be a little bit hard. Amazing Baby says thank you. Colleen Luce Wilson says if he does get impeached, he can run in 2020 and again in 2024. 8 more years. We'll talk about that later. But he did get impeached. Marf, I have 3 items that you will love from my ex-UK Army government days. I will call in before the new year. I know Dex has wanted me to call in speak soon. Mark, I would love to have you on. Joan McKay, thank you so much. You can always write a little sentence or anything. Say hi to somebody. Jareem Arifs, thank you for keeping it real and as honest as possible. All the best to you and yours. Crystal Slots, Chasing Life, Love Mob, Merry Christmas, Marv. Thank you for all that you do. Merry Christmas, Dex, Mods, and Foogle fam. God bless us, everyone. Leah Thorne, thank you from Canada. $20 super chat. You can always write a message or say what's up. Melissa Lucero, Merry Xmas. Thank you, Dex, Mods, and all. You're all appreciated. Mark Sketch, I'm from UK, Marf, and understand that the T-Man is still POTUS. Also, he won't be found guilty at the trial. Also promised to call in before the new year. Oh, I guess you're saying that the next one. Amanda Little, Merry Christmas, Mark. Perfect. Okay. All right. So, all right, we're going to get the phones open. If you guys want to support a broadcast like this and protect yourself against an EMP, this is deadly serious. Now, no matter how much fun we have, the reason why we have picked EMP Shield is because this is actually going to save lives, in our opinion, when or if we do have an EMP, CME. And here's the thing, actually. We're guaranteed to have another bad CME at some point. So even if it takes years, this is going to end up and save people or potentially change the whole outcome of things. Personally, I think that EMP Shield should be included. If we're paying taxes, we should get one of these from the government. This is an actual military tested, military standard from Keystone device that actually grounds the signal of an electromagnetic pulse or a coronal mass ejection before it fries your devices. It actually blocks against an E1, E2, and E3 phase of an EMP. It actually blocks against, it's 100% guaranteed to block lightning. And then, of course, it has solar flare protection up to 228,000 amps. Again, you can get one for your car, your generator, your motorcycle, your RV, your home, your solar system, your radio, ham radio protection, and even your boats. So again, what good is a generator if it doesn't work? This is a huge thing. If you don't have a car to get to your bug out spot, then what the hell good is it? Again, this company is made in America. They are actually working with the Texas grid. They've worked with the actual U.S. government. They've got contracts that they could live out the rest of their days without ever touching a residential thing. I would rather have the same protection that the military bases and all these places are putting in than have no protection at all. Again, they just announced they're on the DEMSO team. They are actually name dropped in the EMP resilience report by the Homeland Security Department. That report said that we need 6 months to a year to prepare. The more people that we have on in the close future, you're going to realize that we really want people to have these. We've done multiple giveaways. We're going to try to do another giveaway of multiple devices. This is something that we think everyone in the Foogle family should have. Even if you go around us, go buy it from somebody else, make sure to do so. Because we believe this is going to end up being a super, super important thing in the future. You can go to marfooglenews.com/EMP, and if you get it through this, then it actually helps our channel as well without costing you an extra cent. So again, marfooglenews.com/EMP. And then if you want to support us in a different way, if you don't have a virtual private network, again, this is something that's incredibly easy. It turns on and off like a light switch, and it protects you and 6 other devices against a lot of stuff. It essentially can protect you from all sorts of targeted attacks on you about... now, Dex, do you want to just say real quick, since you are our tech master?
Hey, sorry about that. Yeah, absolutely. When it comes to having protection on your computer or your phone, I mean, anywhere you are when you're connected to the internet, you are vulnerable to being socially engineered, where somebody can actually come in and grab your IP address and try to attack you. And when you have a VPN, it protects that. It basically moves your IP address and doesn't let somebody see it. It also secures all of the connections that you're doing on the internet, so people can't sniff it and read everything that you're doing if you're on a compromised network or a local, Starbucks or something like that. So having a VPN, it's like a must. You should have one. It's really easy. You install it, you turn on the light switch, and it works. It's that simple.
All right. Well, thank you, Dex. Again, if you end up going there, use the code Marfoogle, or you can go directly there at marfooglenews.com/VPN. All right, we're going to get our phones open now. If you guys want to call in, or if you're already called in, it's 224-400-MARF. It looks like we have 2 slots open on the phones. We're going to get the first caller in after I do my notice. All right, so again, nothing in the show should be considered legal, medical, or financial advice. The views of the callers can differ considerably from my own opinions, Dex's opinions, the mod's opinions, or anybody who helps work with the show. You should always do your own research and consult with professionals. So if somebody tells you that going to a mega city would be good for your health, you might want to talk to a doctor about that. The internet is full of fake news, so please take everything with a grain of salt. With that being said, this channel is now, as of right now, less than 200 away from 100,000. I don't think we hit 100 away yet. But if you want to share this with a friend, tomorrow's show might be our 100,000 subscriber special. The Marfoogle News main channel is at 147,000. If you want to share either one, we have it set up so it's very easy. Type in marfoogle.news in any browser, and it will go there and it will automatically subscribe. If you share marfoogle.tv, it will automatically go to a subscribe page. Literally, you can't do anything except for subscribe. So those are 2 ways to share us. And then, of course, Discord, we have closing in on 12,000. Folks in our Discord groups, and they have a state group for every one of you. People meet on a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly basis in states all over the place. Some states even have multiple groups. California has over 6. Washington has 6 zones. Again, you can meet with people like you that are like-minded, that aren't going to think you're crazy for looking into this and thinking something might happen. They know something's going to happen, and there's people just like you, normal people, lawyers, doctors. Shoot, I mean, we have, I talked to somebody who does not wish to be named, but this person is a very famous lawyer, somebody who's, done just hundreds and hundreds of celebrities, and he watches the show every day. He talks to the celebrities. He knows a lot of really, really crazy inside stuff. He says that, these groups have been just a heaven sent to him. He's meeting tons of really awesome people. Again, there's Creators Corner for channels with 100 plus subs and 20 plus vids. We're standing up against people. We're actually going to be gathering and grouping. I'm getting some big channels to get in there too. We're all going to stick together through whatever this platform or others throw at us. Again, go to marfooglenews.com for the alerts. We're writing something about the deep, dark info about NATO and all the things that they're doing right now. Get over there and sign up right now, marfooglenews.com. If we ever know of anything going to hit the fan, if we have a warning in advance, we would let you know there. Now, of course, if there's half an hour warning, then yeah, we're probably not going to be able to do it. But if we have any kind of advanced knowledge of anything going on, we're going to use Marfoogle alerts for that. All right. And then if we have a notification systems on our website, if you go to marfooglenews.com, you will actually see that we have a notifications bell. That I would highly suggest actually going there and clicking that, because if you do that, you will see that we have a notifications bell. That means you get 100% notifications on this channel. No matter what the platform does, you will get notified on your phone, tablet, or laptop. Now, iOS is actually coming soon. We are hoping to get an app going here soon, so please make sure to check back with that. All right, and then let's see here. Yes. Let's see here. Screwed up again. Okay, and then if you want to support one last way, you can actually go to marfooglenews.com/GT. In fact, if you just go to our website and go bam, marfooglenews.com/GT, you will see the full documentary. You'll be able to watch the interview with Clint Ober. You will be able to watch the trailer here. And then again, you can actually shop earthing products. Earthing is something that has actually changed my whole sleep schedule, my digestion. You know, a lot of people represent products they don't know. We actually don't. Like, we make sure that not only does it change your life, save your life, or do something else, it's something that we have to believe in. So Dex and his wife have been doing this probably before I was born, no offense. And I have been doing it for, I can't even know how many months. Once I was turned on to it, I stopped doing my late night shows. I used to do my show at 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning. Now I actually sleep. So, or if you have anybody for Christmas, somebody who has inflammation problems, arthritis, things like this, just sleep on the mat at night, plugged into the wall, and you're good. All right, let's get the phones open. We still have right over 3,000 people watching. Hopefully we get some good calls in here. If you have any kind of info, any kind of, or if you just want to say Merry Christmas, give us a call. Ashley Broadbent, Merry Christmas, Foogle fam. Things are going to get real. Minuteman JB says Merry Christmas to you and your family, Adam. Well, thank you very much. Oh, Wise Owl says Happy Yuletide, everyone. And Tana Toffin has just subscribed. Welcome to the fam, Tana Toffin. Kelly Joe Z, thank you so much. Excuse my weird voice there. And then Mark Sketch, thank you again for that. Okay. Bam. You guys like came out of nowhere too. Thank you guys all for the help. Again, if I didn't say it already, Myrna Morales, Lindsay Rennick, and Julie Senders, thank you guys. Hello, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Not much. How you doing, Adam?
Good. So let's see. This is Cruise Control, first-time caller, and you were calling from Florida about a leaked Middle E peace plan. What's going on with this?
Well, the information I have, and I'm sorry I don't have a link or anything because I don't have access to internet and all this, so I just do it all on my phone. So I wasn't able to print it out or anything. But anyways, what happened, apparently it was leaked out of Lebanon, and apparently it is going to be a two-state solution over there where they'll get the West Bank and Gaza. But the important part is apparently SA is going to get control of the Temple Mount, which is ran by the country of, I don't even know if I'm allowed to say it. It starts with J, though. Famous basketball player.
Jerusalem?
Well, it's going to be, the Temple Mount is in Jerusalem, but the Temple Mount is not controlled by the Israeli people. It's controlled by the king of
Oh, okay. Just
Jordan.
Oh, Jordan. Okay. Yeah.
Jordan.
Just
I
go
wasn't sure
ahead.
if I could say it or not.
With this, I said things myself that screwed this stream. So either way, just don't go too far with it. Otherwise, it'll just start buffering. But yeah.
Right.
So.
But what makes it important, because this is gonna start going into the book.
The Bible.
The book.
Yeah. The main book.
Yes, sir. And because without this happening, there'd be no way that they could build the third temple on the Temple Mount, because the country J would never allow that. So this is huge for B prophecy. Because if you know the book, it states that after that temple is built, that brings in the anti-C word that is going to come into that temple and declare that he is the G man. And that's when we got to start getting nervous, because that is when the end times prophecies will really kick in. That's when you'll really start seeing. Well, and there's some other things in it too. There's Egypt. I don't think that's a bad country to name. They're going to donate a bunch of land to them, to the people in Gaza, and they're going to build. They're going to get like $30 billion to build a airport, a seaport, and their own desalination plant, so they can get their own water. And they're also going to build a road 30 meters high that's going to connect Gaza with the WB.
Why would you need a road that's 90 feet high? Are they expecting a tsunami? Is that why? Or a flood?
No, because right now those people, because of all the fighting over all the years, they do not want those people actually traveling through Israeli land.
So it will look like a scene out of let me show you this. Like World War Z or whatever, with the zombies climbing up the wall.
Basically, yeah, but it'll give them direct passage from one side of the country to the other without going through Israeli land.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Well,
and that road is actually going to be built by China.
So it all it all plays into the bigger picture then. Yeah. No, and we're going to be talking a lot of this with what's going on with NATO, what they predict, mm-hmm. Not knowing what they predict, what our military sources actually predict, and what's going on with
mm-hmm.
the Temple Mount, all that kind of stuff. That all fits into one, there's so many narratives going on right now. It is absolutely insane. But of course, if you know about the third temple and everything that's going on, I mean, this is
mm-hmm.
this is prophecy. This is something that they've been talking about for thousands of years, and it's coming true. So it's made people that don't even believe in anything, they're saying this is happening. Now all of a sudden they don't believe for any other reason besides that the factual things that are happening that were actually said. It doesn't matter who wrote it 2,000 years ago. I mean, literally. No matter what you believe,
well, there's also a map out there. There's a map out there that I forget the guy's name, but he got a copy of it, gave it to another guy I watch. I don't know if I'm allowed to say other people's names.
Go ahead.
For shows or stuff.
Yeah. Say them all.
Paul Bagley.
Yep.
Where it shows how they're gonna the West Bank, how they're going to have still Jewish settlements inside the West Bank, but there'll be roads that go directly from those settlements back into Israel, and that'll all be Israel property, but outside of those settlements will all be part of that two-state solution. So in the Bible, where it says that they'll have to flee into the wilderness. That's going to be afterwards, I think, because all those Jewish people are going to be caught in, I guess, WB. I don't know if I can keep saying that other word, but in the WB, so they're going to be surrounded. And there's over 850, I think, thousand Jewish people that live in the WB.
So we're going to be covering this off on a different platform because obviously this platform does not want to talk about those kind of things. But also we're actually double past our time. But I wanted to make sure you got your message out, and especially about that. Yeah, no, it is. It's hard to talk about everything that you just said. So we're going to be covering a lot of that in our alerts, and we're going to be covering a lot of it on other platforms that we're building right now. So no, but I appreciate your call. Again, this is cruise control. Is there one more thing you want to say before you go?
No, I just hope everybody has a happy holiday season and Merry Christmas, everybody. And thanks for letting me call in.
Oh yeah, and always, and it's never happy holidays here. It's Merry Christmas. So thank you so much, and God bless. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye. I hate the happy holidays thing. No, I mean, there's a lot of things right there that I don't think people realize. There's even more than that. There's just insane amounts of prophecy happening. No matter what you believe, read it. I think the people that don't believe, that they haven't seen, you just read it. Then look at the history timeline. It's right there in front of you. How can people not see that? It's just because they haven't read it yet. It's like... the only thing you could say is, I don't believe this was wrote 2,000 years ago. That's the only thing you could say. Even if it was wrote 50 years ago, there's things that have happened that it's like, unless you believe that in time travel or foreseeing the future. All right, let's see here. You are live on Marfoogle TV. Chris from Center Stars. What is going on?
Yes. Hey, first off, Merry Christmas to everyone. And I wanted to give a special thank you to all of our military family out there that is keeping our country safe this holiday season.
Absolutely, absolutely. Salute. Now, you wanted to talk about the strange sounds from Earth. What's going on with that?
Okay, well, yesterday I tuned in kind of late and just skimmed through the first part of the video and saw that you were talking about different sounds heard around the world.
Yes.
And there was some that were like trumpets. There were other sounds too. I know these videos usually cover a myriad of sounds, and I wanted to talk about those with you guys. So I have two links that I sent. The first one is a strange sound of a baseball game. I'd say over 10 years ago now. You don't have to play much of it, just enough to get an idea of what the sound is like.
Okay, and I have the link right here. Dex has loaded it up for me. Let's see here. Yeah. And then after that, by the way, there's a new hum. Hold on. It says video unavailable. Did it get knocked off? Did they know that you were going to... Dex, check the link on the first one. Or hold on, let me see if I copied it wrong. Possibly check the link on the first one, because it's already gone. Let me try one more thing. No. Weird.
Okay. I can tell you the name of the video.
Okay, what is it?
Is strange sound heard at a baseball game.
And if I think I know which one, where the announcer actually...
I fixed the link.
Where the announcer actually says, "What is that? It is absolutely terrifying."
Yeah.
Okay,
I just want people to hear a little bit of that sound.
Hold on one sec.
If we've ever heard one. the first inning. That's a haunting sound, if we've ever heard one. 1 ball, no strikes. And the bunt is foul. The count is 1-1.
And what could that possibly be? Somebody shut the door.
It sounds supernatural.
One thing that I've always thought about this one is, because after I've heard the weird hum, this was in 2012. 2011 was one of the first times mainstream actually covered the weird sounds around the world. One thing I always thought about this one is it, if it's an open stadium that somehow just 1 out of a million times that the wind hits it, or a strong wind, which I think I heard that there was no strong wind at this game or something. But if it kind of went in like a bottle cap, you know, like if you blow in a glass bottle and you get that, you know, that whistle. Before we move on to your second video, I want to pull up this new video that came out of Libya. People were saying that there was only one guy. There was 4 or 5 channels, all Libyan YouTube channels, that all had the strange hum. And there's an even creepier sound now, and I might even do another just kind of catch-up video on it. This is the scariest thing I've ever heard. So I don't know if you can hear your TV. I'm going to switch it over to this for 1 second, then I'm going to go back to the rest of your call. Listen to this. This is 1 day ago. Totally different channel. Well, one of them was the same, and then actually, I think it's underneath this one. Jeez Louise. Sorry about that, guys. Didn't mean to blow up your phone.
من مكان عين المكان اللي هو التحدي يبعد عن الطريق 130 كيلو، ومن يظن ان الصوت يكون صوت الازرق، هذا صوت فوق من السماء وليس حوت الازرق كما يروج. التاريخ كم يا نصر اليوم؟ 19/12 وهي.
Okay, first off, this is like a whale or something, and here's the scary part. They had a different user did it during the day. Libyan coast. Check this. Listen to this. It sounds like whale calls. And then I was thinking, in this one, there's actually a tower right here. What if radio signals are coming from space or something and reflecting off the? I don't know. It's just, this is so unexplainable, and so many people posted videos from Libya. This is guaranteed. This has really happened in Libya. So what the hell was it? Hold on.
وليس حوت الأزرق كما يروج. التاريخ كم يا نصر اليوم؟ 19/12 وهي والليلة ليلة خميس، ومن عين المكان الصوت واضح للجميع. سبحان الله وبحمده، سبحان الله العظيم، الله أكبر، الله أكبر، لا إله إلا الله. عين المكان اللي هو التحدي يبعد عن الطريق 130 كيلو، ومن يظن ان الصوت يكون صوت الازرق، هذا صوت فوق من السماء وليس حوت الازرق كما يروج. التاريخ كم.
The reason I found this other one is because I ended up going and I filtered it, and I went today or this week. This is it. These are during the day. City of Sirte. This is all different channels. Look at this. This is nuts. All different channels. This is so nuts. Okay, listen to this. This is scary. This is downright scary.
19/12 الصوت ينسمع واضح على الشط. سبحان الله يا سبحان الله.
Does that sound like whales?
19/12 الصوت ينسمع واضح على الشط. سبحان الله.
Like straight up, the people that said like Godzilla and stuff, these are all different people from Libya.
19/12 الصوت ينسمع واضح على الشط. Subhanallah. Ya Subhanallah.
Okay, yeah, no, and listen to this next one. I got one more, and then we'll go back to this other one. These are all new. This is freaky.
هذا كرب يا اخوي. وهذا صوت في مدينة سرت وبحرنا مزعج حتى بالنهار ومانيش عارف يستر الله كم يطلع علينا يا. وهذا في مدينة سرت واليوم خميس يا. اليوم خميس الجماعة يتكسر على البحارة تبعدوا.
I'm going to pull you back in here. It's so creepy. Again, it almost sounds like somebody's got a zoo tape. But this is several cities across Libya that heard this. It almost looks like it sounds like you're looking at the ocean. You're thinking, how do they have like whales 5 feet off the shore, like crawling? And then you think you hear monkeys and stuff. It's so weird. It's like something is being projected towards Earth like a sound, or if that is the plates shifting or something. So I'm going to pull up the second one. Again, I mean, these things, there's so many more. So many more now.
تو حاليا في بنغازي بالضبط عند الكنيسة.
And this is in Benghazi. This is like a sign. This one is timed.
وهذا صوت الحوت. مطعم مشويات السلطان.
Sounds like grinding. So freaky. Okay, and then I'm gonna pull my caller back in here. Sorry about that. I had to. Once I saw those, I go, wow, what the hell is this? Okay, I'm gonna. Center Star, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Did you hear those? I mean, like, what is going on with this?
No, unfortunately, I didn't hear him through the phone. But I definitely am going to listen to them later. Did they resemble at all that sound at that baseball game, or is this a different thing altogether?
No, it's so different and it's so new. I just don't understand it. Something is going on that's big.
Well, I hope to shed some light on some of these things tonight for you. So in the second video link that I sent you, it's the exact same sound, and if you can remember back to that first sound that he played, everybody, I want you to listen to this next sound that he plays on this other video, and it just happens to be the sounds of Earth that Earth makes from space.
If you listen with the earphones, you'll hear what we're talking about. Maybe this is electromagnetic vibrations.
Is everybody hearing it good?
That sounds eerily like the baseball game, does it not?
Exactly. So every planet, and even our own moon, has a sound. Okay? The sound is exactly like the sound of, like you said, going over a Coke bottle. And what I want people to understand, with that sound alone and higher pitches of that sound, like squeaks and things like that, And you know how like you blow over a Coke bottle at low frequency and low air, it goes hum, and then if you blow hard, it goes whoop, really high. So if you hear a low pitch like that and you hear peaks of high, what that is that's air vortexes going in and out of openings to the inner Earth. And every planet has openings on them. So like Jupiter and Saturn at their poles, they have openings. But Earth has them all over the place. Then what I wanted to talk about with some of the sounds that you were playing, like trumpets and things like that, people do like to put kind of a mystical, what is this sound? Where is it coming from? But back around that time when I was doing heavy research in the Earth sound, I came across this program or whatever called Project Bluebeam. And what Project Bluebeam is the use of satellites worldwide that have sound systems on them and video systems on them. So like we can project at a drive-in and project a movie on a video screen. This advanced technology can put images on the ionosphere up high in the sky. And the thought behind it was that they could use it to do the trumpet sounds that people hear, to bring in the end of the world. They can put on a show to fake the revelations. They can use it for a false alien invasion. They can use it for a number of different things. And so if it sounds like it's coming directly down from the sky, unless there's a proven different source, I would suspect no wizardry in it other than it's being played from a satellite to trick everyone. So that's what I wanted to tell everybody.
Yeah, and we get a lot of comments and a lot of emails about Project Bluebeam, and they think that there's a lot of other things that are kind of, that go back to that. I love this, that the Rational Wiki has this label over here, which calls it a spiracy, if you know what I mean. And then it's got... Yeah. It's like... They actually have, what's funny is they have declassified notes saying that this was something they wanted to do, and you don't think with today's technology, this is totally doable. So I don't understand why this would not be a reality by now when they're doing holograms. Heck, they had Tupac play live in front of an audience in a hologram. You know, I mean, of course they can do stuff like this. So just crazy. And that was back years ago.
Yeah, so they can project this stuff on the atmosphere. It's the same kind of technology they use when they show visual imagery on a building. I don't know if you've ever seen where they do a huge city building and they have ghosts popping in and out of the windows and things like that. And it's all done through high advanced technological, pretty much hologram imagery, like you're saying.
Yeah.
So, playing an eerie song that would scare the crap out of a city. It doesn't surprise me that somebody would just mess around with it. You know what I mean?
Well,
and it sounded almost like a keyboard stroke at the end when it went, you know what I mean? Have you ever played an old keyboard where you had a different, angel vocal sound?
Well, and that's the thing that like this the whole city heard it. And this is a religious city too. They talked about Project Bluebeam being used along with. They actually did this in real time. They actually dropped a hallucinogen on enemy soldiers, and the enemy soldier. Then they, I want to say, and then this part I don't know if this is urban legend or what, but they projected an image of Jesus, and all the soldiers dropped their guns and ran. I don't know if that's urban legend or fact, but I do know that we have, in fact, dropped hallucinogens on enemy soldiers because it wasn't going to kill them and it would make them basically unable to fight in one of our things back in the day. This was like back in 70s or 80s that it actually happened. But as far as the whole Jesus Christ thing in the middle, them dropping their guns and going, that I don't know if that was made up or what. But as far as this goes, yeah, there's some crazy... Oh, and then the city, the Chinese city in the sky, in the clouds, that a lot of people thought was Project Bluebeam, where there was images, the Chinese city in the sky. Well, either way, I want to thank you for calling in. Your channel is going to be linked on our website by the end of the show. This is Center Star's channel. If you guys want to go check out his channel, you can do so at marfooglenews.com just momentarily here now. Thank you so much for calling in, okay?
Yeah, no problem. I just want people to be aware, you know, if you start seeing and hearing things from the sky, I mean, don't get over-rationally scared. Question what it is. Be sure what you're seeing is real.
Oh, yeah.
That's all.
Very good. Very, very good suggestion. Thank you. All right. Have a good night. All right. He's totally right. And then if you think about it, too, that whole city heard the sounds. Some of it sounds like, animal sounds. It's just weird. Like they were playing a tape to 50 miles wide. All right, hold on. Gotta stop the Star Trek music here. Let's see here. We have you live. We're gonna pull in our next caller. We have the Walking Carpet Galactic Review. What's going on?
Hey, brother. How are you this evening?
I am good. So you've got some 5G intel from somebody. So let's pull this up here.
Yes, this is true. I work over at a restaurant, and I get a lot of clientele come in. Interesting thing, I thought he may have been someone that maybe in our audience watching the show because of just how poetically he waxed on about this interesting subject. But he's a contractor. He's been doing work on the antennas with the 5G. And he straight up said that he's...
Wait, what? That's a weird point to cut out. He straight up said that there was... And then they cut the call. That sound is it's trying to connect. What? Who's watching the show, man? Did they just cut that guy off? Do they know what he's gonna say? Okay, I'm gonna hang up. Dex, if you can get him back on. Okay, I'm gonna plug you back in and unplug the space noises. And I'm gonna have to turn off the... Getting a little breezy. Crazy. Mark Sketch, we have had those noises in the UK. I heard them in Birmingham a couple of years ago. Not heard them recently. It was a deep horn sound and lasted 30 minutes. Lynn Drake, thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the family. Ashley Broadbent, Merry Christmas, Foogle fam. Things are going to get real, says Ashley Broadbent. Minuteman JB says Merry Christmas to you and your family, Adam. Man, and then Tona Toffin, thank you so much for subscribing. All right, yeah, that was weird, Dex. I got you turned up again. Did you see that all the new stuff, all the daytime stuff?
No, I didn't.
Oh man!
No, but I got him back on the line, and that was cut off right when he started to.
Yeah, it seems depending on the subject, they don't like it. All right.
I guess not.
You know what? Hold on there, Dex. Saying that... okay. This is weird again.
You want me to take him back?
No, it's just saying the voice over IP calling is unavailable all of a sudden. So,
okay, let me pull him back for a second till you get a green light.
Unable to access server. I hope we don't have any issues right now. We've got can everybody in the chat? I'm gonna head over to the chat. I'm actually gonna pull the chat up on the screen. Once you guys start chatting, it will pop up on screen. Can you guys see us fine? Was it buffering at all during that last call? I like to get feedback from you guys. I see Rebel Snarfle's on the screen. Nick Isbell. Cassie Cam says buffering. Alfred Phillips, Tesla Machine. Hi, Marf. Barry Fowler. A Witness. We've got over 3,300 in the chat. Shirley, Stiletto, Carrie Ray, Susan Donahue. By the way, I want to shout out to Nikki Hickivoig and Nikki. I saw both of them today. And everybody's good, mostly. Most part, I can see everybody is good. Light Moon, Callie 2Cool, Sandwich. I think I saw a sandwich. Wow, that's awesome. We have a sandwich in our chat. No buffer on my end. Can see you fine. All right, cool. Well, that's always good. All right, we are coming up on a longer show here, so we got to get through these. And apparently, the calls aren't coming through. So let's see here.
Are you still not green? And if not, maybe hang up and kill it, and I'll get them back on.
No, it's like not even letting me into the system. I mean, it's letting me in. Hold on, but it's just not. It says unable to access server. Hold on one sec. I'm going to try one more thing. Okay, cool. All right, are you back? Are you back, sir? Are you back? All right, now we're back on. I switched to the hotspot network, at least for that, so we can do that now. If you want to get him on back one more time. All right, you are live once again. What is going on? What in the world is going on with this guy? Dex, can you talk? Can I make sure that you're here?
Hey, Adam, I'm here.
What is it? What is the deal with this guy? He said he straight up said, and then it cuts out. Is this?
Yeah.
I hung up on him one more time.
Okay, I'll call him back one more time.
Okay. I'm sitting here just like all you guys. I want to know what he said. And then he's going to be like, he'll say something like, he said, I'm not going to tip you. What? So he says he's a server and a client of his came in, I'm sorry, he didn't say that. He said a restaurant. Sir, okay, what did the guy say? You said you had a client come in and say, straight up said, and then it cut off.
Okay, that's where we left off. Fantastic. My bad. Okay, I have no idea what's going on with these lines, but yes, I'll get right to it. He said that 5G is terrible. He was working on the actual stuff itself. He's getting away from it. It can be, if militarized or whatever, or if manipulated, it can cause severe doses of the rad to infiltrate as if we were standing in a microwave. He said it's incredibly a bad idea, and they're already experiencing problems in the cities where they have these things everywhere, like as street lamps and such. Now, going along with the caller that was calling before, fantastic caller. Loved the subject matter, and this kind of ties into that because frequencies can cause people to, hallucinate. They can hit you with a frequency that'll make your eyes vibrate, and all of a sudden, boom, you're done. There was a guy that hacked into the TV systems, man, and he caused, people to get sick, and it's all about different frequencies and such. Well, if they were to use this frequency, we could just drop dead and be useless. But going with the Project Bluebeam,
they're using the frequencies, if it's true, I'll try to not use that word though, but if it's true, they could potentially, I mean, even if they're painting the skies with the cloud farts now, use that as a movie screen. And like you said, they could do anything they want because the technology's been there forever. Same thing with the weather mods, Vietnam, the rain that came down to flush out the Viet Cong, man. All of that was weather manipulated. That they caused all that. It was a tactic. It was there to the problem. So I don't know, man. There's just a lot to it. I know there's only like 5 minutes to talk about things, but yeah.
Well, I think we were all just more at the edge of our seat. You're like, this guy straight up said, what was his position though?
He did. He was a technician. He was actually up on the towers putting the stuff in, and he said that, you know, even his supervisors and stuff were saying, you know, don't be up there, you know, too long, you know, blah blah blah, no biggie, joking around, blah blah blah. But he said that he knows for a fact that with the meters and such, that it's putting up bad stuff, and they're putting these things around kids and schools and everywhere. And you know, this stuff is leaking out stuff that's bad, and I'm talking real bad, and cancer causing stuff, man. And I'm talking, it could potentially be such a big factor later that, you know what, it's too scary to think about, because I mean, think about our kids, you know. But on a lighter note, Merry Christmas everybody, and also a Happy New Year. You know, it's just, there's a lot going on. Cascadia, like you've been talking about, interesting subjects. Look that up if you haven't. If you're on the coast, have a plan. Like Marf tells you, it's no joke, people. It's not like, oh, it's just going to rumble a little bit. No. It's like serious, and a lot of people just paint it off as it's not, because they're not talking about it on the Teletubby tube, and it's just so sad that people rely on that as their information source instead of networking, talking to people like they do in your chats, you know, going to the little gatherings. I mean, people need to get more informed. I mean, it's not it's just stupid not to, because people are going to have major cataclysm. It might not happen today, like you say, or tomorrow, or whatever, blah blah blah. But it is going to happen, and if it's your kids' kids, get them ready for it, because when that puppy goes, there's just, yeah. I mean, think of the future. You got to think of your future. I mean, it's critical, very critical. I mean, I live on the New Madrid. I'm out here in the Midwest, and this puppy went a long time ago and flowed the rivers backwards, man, absolutely backwards. And if this thing goes again, who knows? I mean, it could shatter.
It's going to be the worst disaster that we ever see in our lifetimes, and we'll probably ever see for our kids and our kids, their kids' lifetimes. No, I get you. Well, thank you for calling in. I appreciate
always
you.
A pleasure.
The Walking Carpet Galactic Review. Also, all of his info is going to be linked on our website. And everything that he suggested, everything that the callers suggest ends up on our website under caller info, so you can reach it right there at any time. All right, thank you so much.
Awesome. Hey Marf, last little thing. My channel is about to go under a bit of a change. Since before my format was reviewing galactic stuff and Star Warsy things, since the new Copa thing, I'm going into more of a news platform, and just gonna start, like, you know, helping out with the cause, because it's more important to do that and have a voice than just kind of, you know, have fun with some things. It's time, you know, it's time to really get your voices out there. And if you haven't got friends listening to Marf, everybody out there, do it. Share him on your Facebook pages, guys. It's a great way to just start getting his channel around, because it's vital information. Well, here's your ear back, everybody. Love you guys. Big hugs, Marf. Love you, bub. Have a great night.
All right, love you too, man. And not only that, by helping us, you are helping small creators. We are creating systems to actually get everyone in this entire niche to go up. We were working very closely with bigger creators, and I'm trying to talk people and mediate between people that have been fighting for years. It's actually really hard. There's others saying that they're trying to bring people together, but I don't see it. We need to actually get together. We are so powerful together. You have no idea. I mean, think about it. 250,000 people here. We've got others that have hundreds of thousands or in the millions. Why are we not coordinating? Unionize, or I guess, just let's get together. Let's stand up for what we believe in. All right, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on? This is, let's see here. Native Honey Insight. What is going on? What is going on here? No, like, really, what is going on? Native Honey Insight is no more. There we go. Native Honey Insight, you're back.
Hi, finally.
First time caller out of Arizona. What's going on?
Yes. Well, I wanted to talk about, I have a lot to talk about, so I know you only do 5 minutes, and what I have to say is going to be way more than that. But let me just get started. So, you know that we've been brainwashed and indoctrinated, right? A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people are still not awoke, and they don't understand what's going on, and that's why they think everything is a joke, or they don't take it serious. So, if you could go to, I put out a video, the latest one I put out. Can you go to that one? But take the music off, because I have music going with mine, but I'll talk amongst what's going to be showing, if that's possible.
I can't take music off your video, no.
Oh, you can't turn the volume down? I mean,
oh, yeah, I can play it with no sound. That's fine, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Okay, but do you have copyrighted stuff in your video as well? Because
I'm sorry?
Do you also have copyrighted stuff in your video?
No.
Okay, let's see here. Is it must-watch video a reality check? Is that what it is?
Yes, and it go to timestamp 153.
Let's
so
see
people
here.
have to know this because nobody's talking about this stuff. And
Okay, hold on 1 second, ma'am. Uh-oh. Okay, I pulled you back in.
Okay. Now?
Okay, yeah, now it's playing without sound. It's
Okay, so here's what everybody needs to know. I mean, there's people that out there that do know, but this is for the people that don't know. And I had surgery on my mouth, so if I sound kind of funny, I'm getting dental implants. So, anyways.
No worries.
Okay, so if your instincts tell you that it's not right, then it's not right. The puppets of Satan are the Antichrist, right? If you want to believe it or not, it doesn't matter. It's facts. This is all a war on God. And the puppets of Satan, like I said, are the Antichrist. There are symbols everywhere. You have sorcery being practiced on you, and it's all kinds of, it's all kinds of mind control methods. The Antichrist consciousness and the control system has always been here. Generally, the people that run this world are the nice ones, and whoever speaks against the nice ones are the crazy ones and the insane ones, right? They created this fraudulent pseudoscience called psychology, and they want to indoctrinate the public. So anyways, mind control cannot allow people to see their primary agenda. They need you to be ignorant of all the extra dimensional influence. So, because they want to blame you for everything that they've done to you. And that's when the brainwashing comes in. We have been brainwashed so bad, it's unbelievable.
I agree on that one.
They break your will. They spread the cancer. They use everything they have done against you. Satan's intellectual strength grows with each new soul. So
are you there?
And so it's true. Nature, how would
you're cutting out too.
And so it's there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, I do. And what she has here is a ton of symbology, logos, and all sorts of things.
But
okay, so you're cutting out here. I can't hear you.
Hello?
We're all here, ma'am. Don't know what's going on here. Okay, so I don't know if this isn't an issue on my end. So, ma'am, I don't know if you can hear me, but we're all here. Make sure to listen to your phone, not the TV. Okay. I guess she hung up. Like I said, I always give him time. Maybe Dex, get the next caller and then maybe see what happened on her end, if she stopped hearing us or what. And then you can get her back on to finish her call.
Okay. We'll send Able Body over right now.
Okay, Able Body, holy moly. That woman is... If you guys don't know who Able Bodied is, she went through New Orleans martial law. Huh. Holy man. Able Bodied, you are live on Marfoogle TV. I was just telling them about you.
Oh, well, I didn't get to hear that part. Hello, everybody, and hello, Mark.
All I said was you went through martial law. So just want to say, and we don't have to talk about this today. It sounds like you have an executive order you want to tell everybody about. But I want to just give a background on Able Body, how much I believe in this lady here. She called in and she had people crying with her story. She had people just at the edge of their seat because she was in New Orleans when Katrina happened and they had martial law. She saw them like basically mercenary police controlling people. You had a curfew. You had to go everywhere. And this is back a few months back, QAnon, which we have nothing against QAnon, but there was a big group of people saying, we want martial law. You know, they wanted everybody to be arrested and all these, all these indictments to just come out and cause martial law. And I, like many other people, were like, no, that's great if they arrest a bunch of jerks, right? But nobody wants martial law. She told us the story of real martial law, and she's like, nobody wants martial law. It is the worst thing ever. So anyways, Able Bodied is straight from right around Katrina, right in Louisiana, and you've been through some stuff, and your story literally riveted thousands of people. So, but now you're calling about something different. You're calling about an executive order by the president, and you want to let everybody know about it.
Yes, I feel this is just as riveting. I want to preference this information with a few what I consider to be fitting quotes. I'm going to start with a quote everybody knows, and they credit to Voltaire, but it's not from him. It's from a man named Kevin Strom, and he wrote an article in 1993, and the article is named All America Must Know the Terror That Is. And in that article, he makes the quote, to determine the true rulers of any society, all you must do is ask yourself this question: who is it that I'm not permitted to criticize? And that's Kevin Strom. But Baltar actually is noted as saying, I may not agree with what you have to say, but I will defend to death your right to say it. He also says, it is clear that the individual that persecutes a man, his brother, because he is not of the same opinion, is a monster. And that leads me to the executive order today. The executive order is 13889. It was signed by the president December the 10th of this year. He was sitting at Columbia University when this order was signed. There was a press conference there, lots of cameras. Although I didn't see this in mainstream, I actually got this information from a couple of YouTubers. Many know these two. One would be Israeli News Live, Stephen Danoon. We also know maybe Blackstone Intelligence, Jake Morphonius. So these are two that you can actually go to for more information. This is a delicate subject, so I have to be careful even how I speak on it. This Executive Order 13889 was signed stating that any college or public college that receives federal funding under Title VI would no longer receive their millions of dollars yearly if anybody on campus was heard stating anything against what is quoted as a national religion, which there is no way to really have a national religion, of Judaism. Such a slippery slope is very scary. This definitely ends free speech alley on campuses. And it's mind-boggling to me. We know that there can't be a national religion. Christianity can't be a national religion because you have them from all different nations. Buddhism, any of these religions. So it's a very long 2-page order, and it classifies Judaism as a national religion. And in that context, there will be nothing spoken against Judaism. We in the religious community believe that this is the next, or there are other steps that could be taken beyond this that could actually keep us from criticizing the no-hide laws. The big executive order.
Wow. This is so if you don't realize why, or you're confused on this, there's a lot of people in the chat will explain to you why people are mad about this, why this is so crazy, why, like New York, we covered that they have cop cars. They look just like NYPD, but they're actually there to enforce those laws. The same laws that enforce in other countries that are absolutely horrific. It's pretty crazy. Like, it's superseding our Constitution, and they're morphing and merging.
It's certainly a strike against the First Amendment. First and Second Amendments are very important, and I will defend them. As Voltaire said, no matter what you say, I will defend to death your right to say it. Without that, we have nothing.
Wow, incredible. Well,
our first
step is for we're going to link this executive order. You need to read it in detail. Again, this is a big deal, and this is why a lot of people are talking about it right now, is because they're seeing in clear as day, in clear writing, that, I mean, you heard what she said. These schools are going to have to crack down on anybody saying anything that goes against the narrative. Otherwise, they won't get their funding.
Without funding, the tuition will be elevated, I'm sure, and I can't imagine what would happen if they lost their funding. So they're not going to let this happen. There's not going to be any violators.
So no more free speech.
Yes,
in
sir.
the place where you're supposed to really think, question everything.
Right. Everything.
It's training
free
the next
speech alley
generation.
is known on every campus.
It
so
is
they
training.
Start small and end up big.
So there's a couple of videos here. One is by Blackstone Intelligence Network. That is going to be linked on our website. And then, again, the other one, which is we're gonna sit here real quick. The other one is also going to be linked on our website, which I'll just show you real quick.
And you have the entire order.
I would love to talk to you
You
again
have it linked.
about everything else too. I'd love to have you on the show again. It's been a while. This was December 12th, Israeli News Live. Again, if anybody knows Stephen Ben-Nun, I've been trying to reach out to him any and every way possible. He has 4 Twitters for whatever reason. So I tweeted all of them, or I tried to message all of them. If any of you also watch him and are a mod, or you know how to get a hold of him, just let him know that I've been trying to talk to him. Even if it's off air, even if I could just talk to him for 5 minutes. I've been watching his stuff since before I did YouTube, so I think he is one of the true people.
He is a professed Jew as well, so he takes it from that point of view.
Wait, so what are you saying? He said something, or
he is Jewish? Yeah, he's Jewish.
Oh, I know. So yeah. There's a lot of stuff here that's like it's crazy. I mean, what is going on?
What's going on is, one day we won't be able to say anything about certain rulers of our society. That's what's going on.
That's right. And even if somebody's 10%, yeah, I get it.
And I thank you for letting me share this. I don't want to be the bad news bearer, but we have to be awake. We have to be.
Well, I'm also going to show you a word that you guys all need to look up. We shouldn't even say it. It starts with an N.
Don't say it.
It starts with an N and it ends with an Oahide. Oahide.
And I already said it, and it is going to be the new N word. I assure you, we will not be
in shelter.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That'll be the new N word.
That's right.
That's the way things are going, y'all. It is what it is. It's an executive order. 13889, and you have it in its entirety on your link as well, on your website.
I got it. Yeah, it's going to be already there. Again,
yes.
Yeah, this is just pretty nuts.
It needs to be known. Yeah, it's what's happening around us, step by step, increment by incremental. Yep.
Well, thank
you.
That
slippery slope is something ahead of us. Yeah.
I already know. Well,
thanks, Marv.
Thank you so much, Able-Bodied. You have a wonderful night. Beautiful night.
And you all have a good night.
All right.
Thank you so much. All right. God bless. Bye-bye.
God bless you too. Thank you for being here every night. All right. And again, Able-Bodied, I don't think she's missed a show in 2 years. I honestly, she's been here every day. These aren't even the full of it. There's so much crazy stuff. And then I can see half of those symbols over there. The thing is it's just nuts. Hello, you are live on Marfoogle TV. What is going on?
Hi, it's Native Honey again.
Oh, okay, we got you back. So, Native Honey Insight. Gotcha. Just wanted to let you finish your call. It got cut off and you couldn't hear us, so I don't know what the heck happened.
I know. Okay, anyways. So, I'm going to get right to the point. We have been lied to about everything. Literally everything. I know people think it's not true or whatever, and that has everything to do with the brainwashing and the mind control. But from all the holidays that we celebrate, it's all a lie. Even the Martin Luther King, the Rosa Parks story, the guy that got beat up in LA, what's his name? Rodney King, that's all a lie. If you do your own homework, you can, how can you say, if you can't do your own homework, how can you suggest not listening to somebody? Nobody wants to do the research. Anyway, this is almost a cashless society. The American dollar is going to crash. Okay? There's not enough gold or silver, so that's out the door, which leaves us with digital currency. The cashless system is growing. And what are you going to do? Are you planning to survive 7 years without an income? The banking, are you prepared? Nobody's prepared. How are you going to survive 7 years? And that's what they call the chip, and that's the mark of the beast. Taxes, they'll come and kick you off your property, your house, your land. You don't own anything. Transportation, once you get pulled over, they're going to ask you to show the chip. You don't have the chip, they're going to take you in and ask you to get that chip. This is what it all comes down to. This is all a war on God, like I said before. And Satan is doing everything he can to take your, taking as many souls to hell with him, because he already lost. So everybody that doesn't believe that God is real and the Bible is fake, the Bible is 100% accurate. And nobody realizes that how serious this is, because you have two choices. You either go to heaven or you go to hell. And nobody thinks about that. Everybody's trying to save the world, but they're doing it the wrong way. Prayer is a very powerful tool. And Jesus, people, you get what
I think we do.
What knowledge and respect.
I think we do understand what you're saying. It is cutting out again, though. No, I agree with your message as far as prayer and Jesus is the right way, and I do agree as far as people thinking it's crazy that we're going to have the chip and all these things. This is going to be a reality very soon. We've covered the RFID chip systems that they are going to say that it is obsolete and old for us to actually have physical ID cards. They want us to get implants. That they're already having different states do it. This is something that's happening. Can you finish out your statement, Native Honey Insight?
Yeah, I was just speaking, and I heard you now. But look, Trump is
We lost her again. That's unfortunate. We'll have to have her call back again at some point. She said something about T-Man, and then I was cutting out the whole time. She said something. If you want to get her back on and to say bye, we can try to do that. I don't know why it's just her that was having all the issues. And then Discord was having a couple issues, but not much. Dex, if you want to get her back on, I don't want to leave her like that. And then Colleen Luce Wilson, INL, is Really News Live. Also says some of the appointed judges of the JWs, and that could be how the N-hide laws can become real for us. Oh, I get you. I get what you're saying. Matt in AZ, thank you so much. You don't have to do that. Says, hey, buddy, great show. Congrats on the Red Pill 78 shout out tonight. Apparently, your camera is the envy of fellow boob tubers. Yeah, apparently, your camera is the envy of fellow boob tubers. Oh, that's awesome. Boob tubers. I guess say it twice. Jennifer Ellis, thank you for what? It hung up the second she answered that time. Get her on one more time if you can. Like I said, I'm pretty patient when it comes to at least saying bye. Jennifer Ellis has subscribed. Thank you guys for joining me. Welcome to the fam. Florida Patriot 71 says, Merry Christmas. Sorry, I missed it all as usual. We'll be listening to the replay. Much love, Foogle fam. Florida Patriot 71, if you guys haven't checked her out, she's an amazing woman. She talks about preparing and survival on the animal side. Like, she takes care of dogs and things like that. Nobody ever thinks about that. Animals and prep and surviving with dogs. But she's also just generally a really amazing woman. Mark Sketch, thank you again for that. And then, yeah, thank you for the unusually high number of super chats tonight. I'm assuming it's because it's close to Christmas. We thank you, helping us get somewhere with this, and thank you guys for everyone who has helped us, supported us by getting stuff from our affiliates. Obviously, if you followed me the whole time, I spent the first year, I never did anything, and it was hard for me to do that, but that's why I took so much time making sure the affiliates I did get were so important. So I really appreciate you guys helping us with that. And I've always been very transparent about that. We are trying to grow. We are trying to make this. We were trying to bring on 2 more people by the end of the year, but that has not happened yet. And then also, if you guys want to do reports or send stuff, send me any videos, UFO videos, police videos, any videos. We've got marfooglenews.com. It tells you how. Let us know. Dex, can you get her back on, or what's going on with her? You there, Dex? Hold on.
Hey, Adam, I'm here, and I transferred her to you. You may have dropped it.
Okay, we might just have to
She's
talk.
obviously having a lot of phone problems.
Okay. Well,
it's not on our end.
Well, I can reach out to her and just say, off air, I can just say thank you. I wanted her to say bye. Otherwise, either way.
Yeah, she's in chat, so maybe she can say something there. But yeah, I can't. I just answered her, got her on, and she's gone. So
okay, all right. Well, yeah, I guess try one more time. I want to say bye to her. This is my first time meeting her, I believe.
Okay, hang tight. I'll see what I can do.
Worst comes to worst, I can actually just I don't like leaving people like that. I'm just gonna dial her number.
Please leave your message.
Oh. Okay. Well, we tried as hard as we could. I even called you. I didn't want your number to play on there. Okay. Either way, we can have you back on their Native Honey Insight, and we really appreciate you here. Yeah, I don't like it, especially I get people saying, you didn't give her the time or this and that. No, trust me, I tried to give her much more time. Okay, first time caller. I will get back with you on another day. This has just been an absolutely eye-opening show as far as everything that is going on right now. Obviously, again, I just want to remind you guys too, I don't ever say these kind of things. With China building mass, there is something huge, and I told you, they're doing quantity over quality. The source information that I got 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 1 month ago, you're seeing it. You're seeing it come out. With everything else that we called the exact special drill between Ryan, Ryak, NK, Russia, and China. We called that drill before it existed to the public. We knew about that. We got that from an inside military source. So again, make sure to listen to the show. Make sure to click that bell. It is extremely important that you click that subscribe bell. Also, Marfoogle alerts. That's a huge deal. We pay for that service. It's a free service for you guys. We actually pay, and obviously, we get donations that run all that stuff. So thank you. For you guys who donate, do realize that there's a lot of little services and stuff that we're building that are only, realized because of you guys helping. So, Dex, thank you for trying so hard. Thank you for dealing with the phone stuff. I know it wasn't easy for you tonight.
Oh yeah, well, it was kind of a hectic night, but the news was packed. A lot of callers was applaud them courage to actually call in and share their opinions and thoughts. So totally understand that. And I actually, Bones has one thing to remind you of. So I'm going to pass the microphone over to Bones. Some sort of number is coming up really soon.
Yeah. I forgot about that.
Hey, Marv, how you doing?
Good, Bones. What did you want to bring up?
You remember my call a little while ago, a couple months ago, and so that was talking about how I challenged you to a recreation of the bubble bath tiara photo, and you accepted that challenge. And as soon as you reached 1,000 or 100K, you were going to do that picture.
Yeah, I do, and I did accept. Yeah, I do have to do it. Yours, I'm not going to do it as graphic as yours, but mine might look a lot like Vlad's. Vlad Gruitz is another Marfoogle fam who started the craze. I guess you could call it a craze with a Y at the end. This is Vlad's version. Can't leave without leaving that with it. Oh, yeah. There's both. The Tiara Challenge. That's, yes, very manly men with facial hair doing the bath. Bubbly bath. Yeah. So, if you get us to 100,000, I guess I've got to do my bubbly bath bet. So, yeah, there's that. Well, thank you for reminding me, Bones. Much appreciated.
Yeah, Adam, this is Dex, and I think we're really close. Probably enough people here that could reach out and hit that subscribe button and get that challenge fulfilled. So, but great show, and appreciate all you do.
Oh wait, hey! By the way, there are a lot of people waiting for this challenge.
Yes, I thank you for reminding me. Bones, you have a great night. Dex, love you, man.
Love you too.
All right. Now it is officially time for the shoutro. It's not an outro and it's not a shout out. It's a shoutro. Some would say it's not really the end of the show at all. It's the beginning of the after party. We play some music. We say your names to a beat. It's where I say thank you to the people that have been here since the beginning. If you've never been here before, you might want to stick around just to see me make a fool out of myself. Again, I can't thank you guys all enough. If you do want to go see any of the things going on, you can always go to marfooglenews.com. Have a good one. I got my Sandra Festerling, riding with my hoof-long dung. Got my goods on demand. Got my Genesee. I got my Cindy Jones and my able-bodied. Remember, it's all about the hot and sticky. If you have it, at this point, you know what to do with it. Hey. I wouldn't be able to do it without Cindy Johns, J Stone 78, and of course Anthony P. Rich Potter and the journalist. I've got that Ahmed Gratha, got that crystal star eyes, Paulette and aloe vera. Everyone wants growth, going back around now. They know that it's all about the Marfoogle. Now I rock, got the Gloria White with the berry father, Mr. Johnson, who Van Dung, they all gonna hang out with the Gandover. Hey, Teresa K and the Debbie Hicks, got the homemade with the love by Liz. I got that one, Corinthians, and that Carrie Ray, and that. Got the Dylan Bonds, healthcare sucks. Got the Susan Big, and they don't give a fuck. We've got that one sheet, Gonzalez. Hey, Stacy Franklin, thank you for coming. Nikki, it was good seeing you today. And you gotta grab your umbrella for Sapphire, Ella. And Shona May. Haven't seen May in a while. Which way's which? 08 and Fondage. We've got the cellar door open and everybody's gotta give me some Marfoogle sure. Remember, you can go to marfooglenews.com for any of the articles here today. I'm going to show you that here in a second. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you right. I'm going to go with that deluxe barbecue. You can go to the website and well you will find all the people that called today. Sucks, I'm gonna bring it right back like we give no. Ooh, no, I didn't mess up. It's all about like that. Now if you go to the end, you will see your friend. They're not gonna treat you like an idiot. you're idiots, then you can just walk right all over 'em. Because when the end happens, well, we have our third world conflict. You can say screw 'em. Witness say believe, doesn't really matter now, 'cause they ain't believe. Jesus Christ will save you, please. Better get on your knees. Again, you can go to the website and you will actually see that underneath is all the callers' info, all the videos they suggested, everything live. It is 12:34 a.m. There's Chris, able-bodied, native, honey, insight, cruise control. They're all there. You know, it's about to be that time right now. We sat down getting the people that mad around here. You. Out here. Oh yeah. We've got that dress in the garden, bringing it high. Nutty R&D. Eddie Hearn. Thank you, Snappy Snaps, Angel Cotita. Thanks for coming on back. Got me on reading the gospel, bringing back Rainbow Snarful. We're gonna bring it back, it smells something awful. What's up, Rip Curl? What's up, Trish Killing? What's up, Daniel Folkman? What's up, Priscilla? Thanks for smashing that. That thumbs up, that ain't breeze, but you know that's cool. Big birthdays, baby. Adam, Dex, and Mark. Mark's gay takes me. Yeah, and they know they can't get a ferry. Gonna get some scary. Linda, Cass, Grace, Race, and the rest of them. Somebody see that country girl. I just got it. I pre-free. I pre-free. I just wish we would be there for you. Oh, Cyrus Orion, we would be coming back. We dying, we lying if we didn't say that we were. Oh, so worried about the future. Gotta heaven's calling us every night. We've got them Cindy Johns. I've got that Barry Fowler, able body. It was about the 4 Siamese for me and the Shauna May, the Byron Highlands and that Dex Jag. I got the Susie Q and the Jarmaine. Doesn't really matter cause he ain't my main. I got the JK and the Kristen Sullivan. Hopefully they don't kick my kids in a van. Hey Rip Curl and Katie, I like it. And Doug Ann and everybody just like it. I bring back the Mystics walk. And if I was refilling it like Ricky Bobby, then I'd walk. It didn't really matter cause the bones and the snafu snaps, it would change in a minute, but it would bring it R-Jacks. And if I was Eeyore in Wonderland, then I would do everything that I would with Brian, and we can. Osiris, Orion, and everything we did with the Calamity Rain and everything that we used to did. And now Repo Scomple and the Foogle. Gotta kick it, everybody wants to go to Google and type in my name and hopefully something good shows up. And Alfred Phillips goes back and has a kill with Cheryl Parker. Gotta go back in the day when we did so much. Back with on EM and everybody wanna bring it down. The boom boom crowd. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Gonna say yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, oh yeah. We gonna say oh yeah. On DM for a long drive for me. Pretty please me, for me. Do I even have that anymore? I might have to put it on tomorrow's docket. So many people are requesting it, I've got to bring it back. If you don't know me for me, then maybe you haven't been here. Before the Earthworm Jims and the Thomas Johnsons were around. The Linda Ways and the Pretty Ways that we used to say. John Nelson, B. Crouch and the rest of the crew, hanging out with me and Susie Q. Ooh, ooh, ooh. With the Denise Parkers of the world, the Osiris Orions and every other girl. Forgiveness for love, and I think something above, and Dame Jade and everything that I love. Nerdy art, oh man. Nappy Soldier Live took such love with everything else, and which ways, which OA. Had the country girl and everything they used to do with Priscilla Ross Fox and Becky D. Gotta bring it with the Kathy White. It's the freestyle off the top. This is my screen name at Hunziker, and Lucky Ticky 2 used to be just as big as you. Pedro Cruz. And off tune. I hope you guys all have a wonderful night. We're gonna have a theme song one of these days so we can all sing along. And then you guys can send in a video of you singing your theme song. And then we can all have our me for me moments. Our me for me moments. Because you never know what's going to happen. Nothing's written. We just play it by ear. Yes, I really want to walk back. Do it with that Bollywood band. Sometimes you don't want to roll with a bit. We still got 2K watching in the chat. Thank you guys for sticking around for everything that we do. West Virginia prepared mine. Barefoot lost her mind. And the chasing life with the big old oof. And the white tail 7 and the big old oof. Duh. Gotta bring it like a Norwegian. I'm gonna sing like the Amy Skunker and the Strunker. Got to go back and now we're punker. Like Denise Parker and the rest of the clunkers driving around with the Linda ways. And what do you say? Gotta bring it back now, gotta go. Got the Mary Mascos, JC Moe, and the Cindy Jones resting all. Got the fun dodging, it's not my tune. Gotta go back, my goons. Kathy Wyatt and my Richard Corbett. All right, Boom Boom I can do. The other one, I don't know where it went. I think we lost it. But now it is time for the Boom Boom. It's that time for the Boom Boom. You know, if you're listening to 104.5 Funky Marf, if you want to support us, don't. Yeah, you know it is. You know it's like that. Hey, refilling the cup, man. You're good. I mean, a woman, I think. I don't know. I can only see a tiny little icon. Hey, Kathy Wyatt, thank you for supporting. Straight from Jamaica, it's a Hollywood Funky Marf. I'm sure this is not politically correct. If I offend ya, you can show yourself the door. Niggas Bell, thank you so much for coming, man. Nappy Soldier Live, drum and bass band, yeah. You got the drugs, family garden, yeah. China May, what do you say? A boom boom. We gonna bring it back now. Take off that filter, man. Yeah, we gonna take off that filter. It cuts out, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. Stop messing with the sound, man. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, boom. Scattered out of what? The Savoyella. You know the Brian Watering. The Cindy Johns. We got some new people like Forgiveness. We got the Crazy Coyotes. The Cricket Lulu. My growing no older lifer. Lucky Tiki 2. Osiris. Orion. PG 1093. Yeah, man. Some dead. Some dead.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on? When it happens, go to
Nope, not yet. Not gonna do it. It's not the end. Be safe. Be prepared. And Marf out.
You want to know what's going on? What's really going on when it happens? Go to marfooglenews.com and get Marfoogle alerts along with a Discord invitation where you can find your local state group and get together with the Foogle fam.
Mod meeting,
You'll find fast friends where you'll share prep and intel. And there's even special groups for former and current military. But don't try and steal the valor of those who have really served. It won't go well for you. The Marfoogle fam is waiting for you.